Hello, your channel Eugene Light Novels greets you. I hope you are enjoying these beautiful novels. Now, let's continue with the novel, Lord's Talent Synthesis of Survival. First part. Chapter 1, Entering the Ruins World for the First Time. Welcome to the world of ruins. You will spend the rest of your life in the world of ruins from now on. You are poor and have no time to be idle. If you want to survive in this world, please remember the following points. 1. Please find a suitable location to place the core of the shelter as soon as possible. A good location will greatly increase your survival probability. 2. Danger and opportunity coexist in the wild. There are dangerous mutant creatures in the wild, as well as the survival materials you need. 3. This world is experiencing constant disasters. If you want to survive, you need to pay attention to the prompts and upgrade your shelter as soon as possible. 4. Search for supplies as much as possible, if you want to survive. 5. Once the shelter is activated, it cannot be moved. If you lose the shelter, you will lose your identity as a survival lord and you will also lose the shelter of the world. The test day will come in 6 or 3 days, I hope you can be prepared. Chen Xiai stood in the grass with a blank face. The light curtain in front of his eyes dissipated and he felt his hands sink. A transparent crystal appeared out of thin air in his palm, exuding a soft light. Is the world destroyed? The dissipating screen, the crystal in his hand, and the experience before time travel all reminded him to accept reality. After calming down, Chen Xiai couldn't help but fall into memories. About a month ago, the Blue Star Federation suddenly issued a doomsday notice. According to the observation and calculation of the Academy of Sciences, the sun is about to have a helium flash, and the ensuing solar wind will ignite the Blue Star land, and human civilization has entered a countdown. Blue Star reached its final day in chaos. At that time, Chen Xiai stood in front of the window and looked at the street. The thugs whose reason was destroyed by fear were walking aimlessly, like zombies. Shops are in a mess, blood, feces, and garbage are everywhere, and the city is turning into ruins. Explosions and flames intertwine to show madness and cleanse sin. No one can maintain order anymore, and the top federal officials have already escaped into the stars through the spaceship that was rushing to work. Those who are still sane also spend their last moments with their loved ones. Chen Xiai lived alone, and in the end he faced the raging flames alone, and the memories ended here. No matter how bad the time travel is, it's still better than Blue Star's oven. After regaining consciousness, Chen Xiai lowered his head and looked at the crystal ball. Shelter core. Level 0. Quality, perfect. Introduction, select a location to form a shelter of 100 square meters. The initial shelter has extremely weak disaster resistance and protective capabilities. As he focused his attention, several lines of small words appeared next to the core of the shelter. Chen Xi's brain was running rapidly, recalling the world prompt just now, and after scanning around, he decisively gave up and placed it immediately. Shelter matters a lot and I have to think about it carefully. Taking a deep breath, he saw a slope in front of him on the left. The terrain was slightly higher, making it easier to observe all directions, and he immediately ran up it. Chen Xiai stood on the top of the slope and looked in all directions. There is a patch of bushes ahead, and beyond the bushes is a mountain range. White snow can be seen vaguely on the top of the mountain. The temperature is still high in early autumn, so it can be inferred that the altitude of the mountain range is very high. There is wilderness on the left and right, with sparse trees and wild grass half as tall as a man. They are growing so well that the border cannot be seen at a glance. Behind is a forest. Looking up, it is like a green ocean. It is lush and leafy, and you don't know how big it is. You can see the light of water in the wilderness on the right, and there is a river flowing from the mountains to the forest, but the distance is too far to estimate the size of the river, but you can still see it from such a distance, which shows that the river is wide. There are currently 2 options. One is to place a core nearby to build a shelter. This place is close to the forest and rich in resources. The disadvantage is that it is too close to the forest and the terrain is low. The other is to go to the mountains and settle near the river. The advantage is that it is close to the water source and the terrain is high. The disadvantage is that the resources are unknown. Chen Xi's eyes flashed as he weighed the pros and cons. If I build a shelter at my feet, there are many wild beasts in the forest. I need to defend from all sides. It is easy to attack but difficult to defend. If you go to the mountains and build against the mountains, the defensive pressure will be much less, but the resources may be scarce, and future development will be limited. No choice is perfect, it's just a matter of preference. Finally, Chen Xi gritted his teeth and said, "You can only survive to the later stage. After all, this is not a game that can be resurrected. I would rather develop slowly than give priority to safety." His experience before the apocalypse made him accustomed to expecting the worst. After the choice was confirmed, Chen Xi stopped delaying and looked at the sun. It's almost noon. I have to put down the shelter before the sun sets. It's too dangerous at night in the wilderness. Thinking of this, he immediately started to run to the right, looking around carefully as he ran. Not long after running, Chen Xi felt that his lungs were going to explode. He usually stayed at home, except when he went out to collect supplies every week. He never ran like this. "I'm so exhausted. Running is really not for humans." Breathing heavily, he stopped at the edge of the bush. The bushes and vegetation in front of me are dense, the trees are growing in a disorderly manner, and the ground is overgrown with weeds. I wonder if there is anything hiding inside. Chen Xi had observed before that the bush area was very large, but fortunately there was an edge not far to the right and could be bypassed. Let's take a detour. It's fun to walk through the bushes without tools. I can't make it through the bushes with my physique. If I don't get lost, I have to feed poisonous insects and beasts. After a short rest, Chen Xi turned to the right and continued driving quickly, intending to bypass the bushes and reach his destination as quickly as possible. Suddenly, he glanced warily and saw what seemed to be a wooden box beside the bushes. Box? Are there any other humans here? Chen Xi looked closer and saw that it was indeed a wooden box. It was said to be a box, but it was only the size of an adult's fist, like a watch box. Treasure chest found, wood. The prompt information appeared in front of his eyes. Chen Xi was slightly startled and complained, "This is not a game world, is it? I am an NPC. The resource prompted at the beginning is the treasure chest. Complaints are complaints, and the benefits still have to be taken." He leaned over and picked up the wooden treasure box and put it in front of him. The treasure chest was not locked, but after he tried hard, he found that he couldn't open it at all. Do we still need to kill monsters and explode keys? Chen Xi had no choice but to put the treasure box in his pocket and move on, planning to study it after a shelter was placed. Only this time I switched from running to brisk walking. On the one hand, his physical strength does not allow him to run. He is also afraid that he will not be able to escape when he encounters danger. On the other hand, he wanted to search for treasure chests along the way. According to his more than 10 years of gaming experience, the refresh rate of treasure chests was the highest in the early stages. This walk lasted 3 hours. Chen Xi always went out by bus and subway, and he had never been on the road for such a long time. He was tired and thirsty, and the good news was that he found another treasure chest, wood, on the way, which slightly comforted his irritable mood. It's finally almost here. Chen Xi can see the foot of the mountain and the river below it. Wang Shan ran to death and walked for another half an hour before he reached his destination. This place is a rock wall. The knife-like rock wall rises from the ground and is very steep, as if someone used a giant axe to chop the cliff. In front of the rock wall is a large flat land with only weeds and some gravel, which is suitable for placing the core of the shelter. Chen Xi stepped forward excitedly, and after thinking, he lowered the core of the shelter 50 meters away from the rock wall. Confirm activation of shelter core. Ask the living to stay away. He obeyed and stepped back, but his eyes were still focused on the core. I saw a virtual wooden house appearing above the core of the shelter. Soon the virtual image gradually solidified and turned into a physical wooden house in a few breaths. The door of the wooden house faces the direction of the forest. There is a window on the left and right sides of the door, but the windows are empty. There were several fist-wide cracks on the wooden wall extending from the ground to the roof. It's really leaking everywhere. Ding! The shelter is established and the survivor panel function is unlocked. Unlock attribute panel, chat panel, transaction panel, manufacturing panel. Get newbie gift pack *1. Even though the house was bare, Chen Xi's anxiety was greatly alleviated. The house could indeed bring a sense of security. He did not rush to open the panel to check, but first walked around the shelter to briefly check the surrounding situation. When he was on the road before, Chen Xi determined the direction based on the movement of the sun and his previous habits. The mountains are to the north, the forest is to the south, the river is to the east, and to the west of the wooden house is a large wilderness. The wooden house is about 40 meters away from the rock wall, and it can be used as a backyard when it is fenced. There is a river to the east, so the water source is no problem. The nearest resource point is the bushes in the southwest, where there are plenty of wood and wild fruits. Chen Xi became more and more satisfied as he turned around. The most important thing was that he found no traces of large animal activity nearby. Go look inside. When I opened the door and walked into the wooden house, I was surprised to find that there was nothing there. There are also several large holes in the roof, and the sunlight passes through and leaves light spots on the ground, which also makes the wooden house not appear dark. The ground of the wooden house is the original grassland, and the gravel and weeds are still there. Chen Xi found a wooden stick and swept the ground to make sure there were no small surprises such as snakes and hedgehogs. The wooden house leaks everywhere, and the trouser pockets are cleaner than the face, so we are really poor. I don't know what functions the system panel has. I hope it will provide some benefits and not let me repair the house by myself. Chen Xi feels that his ability to do things is almost non-existent, and it is very likely that the repairs on the house will get worse as time goes by. Open the system panel, which changes into 5 parts. Attribute, chat, manufacture, trade, item. There is also a 3-day countdown icon in the upper right corner of the panel. When he focused his mind on the number of days, the system prompts automatically appeared. Novice Protection Countdown, 3 days. Novice Protection, 3 days, no, there are 2 days left, you must gain the ability to protect yourself during this time. Chen Xi's eyes flashed, and he felt a sense of urgency. He quickly checked the chat panel. Can I interact with other people here? Page changes. The chat panel is divided into 3 parts, namely, World Channel, Regional Channel, and Friend Channel. Ding! Tip: the World Channel can speak once a day, and the speech comes with a real person's avatar, number and real name. The Regional Channel speaks dozens of times a day, and the speeches are accompanied by real person avatars, numbers and real names. There is no limit to the number of times a friend's channel can speak. Chen Xi paused slightly and entered the World Channel first. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Ha ha ha. I won't even die at the end of the world. Am I not on a spaceship? Who knows what happened? How did I suddenly come here? F***K, there's a dog *human trader upstairs. I am an official. Please be careful when you go out. Try to make weapons before exploring to prevent encountering wild beasts. Ha ha ha, great, I love it here. Speeches passed by one after another, most of which were about excitement, asking for help, complaints, etc., with very little useful information. What is currently known is that, except for the elderly and children, everyone between the ages of 16 and 60 on Blue Star has traveled to the Ruin World. There is no difference in the start, they are all a shelter core. Really, everyone travels through the world of ruins. Chapter 2: Activating Talents. Chen Xi quit the World Channel and entered the Regional Channel. 1992620 Regional Channel, 997/1000 people. There are currently only 997 people in the Regional Channel. I don't know if the 3 missing people are dead or they were not full from the beginning. Chen Xi looked into the channel and spoke. Xiaohuo 1, I have traveled through time, I am the protagonist, and my fate is up to me, ha ha ha. Chen Xi's mouth twitched and he was completely speechless. Lu Yong 2, whoever wakes up if he urinates yellow, you are not the only one, 5 billion people around the world are wearing it. Chen Xian 38, you shouldn't interrupt the dream of a boy who is in the 2nd grade. If you don't get in the 2nd grade, you will lose your youth. Wang Lei 96, are you all alone? Where are you? An area should not be far away. We can gather in one direction. Lu Song 1107, stop dreaming, I don't even know the direction here, how to gather here. Xiaohuo 1, I am the protagonist, look at my strange fire. Attached picture, fireball floating on hand.jpg. Lu Yang 2, F***K. Wang Lei 96, F***K. Lu Song 1107, are there really superpowers? Are you a superpower? That's awesome. Lu Igua 8, you can open the novice gift pack, which contains talent stones, which can awaken your talents. Chen Ci was startled, then realized what he was doing, and immediately closed the chat channel and went to the inventory. The novice gift pack is lying quietly inside. According to the prompts, the inventory has 10 spaces, and there is no limit to stacking similar items. He focused his attention on the newbie package. Ding! Whether to open the gift package. Turn on. Congratulations! Obtain dry food *7, mineral water *7, flint *1, talent awakening stone *1. Although dry food and mineral water are very important to him, his attention is still firmly attracted by the talent awakening stone. Talent awakening stone. Level, none. Quality, perfect. Introduction. The last gift of Blue Stars can help Blue Star humans awaken their supernatural talents, with a success rate of 50%. Half failure rate? Is this very unfriendly to African Emirates? Chen Fei Chief Ci was inevitably uneasy. He usually played card games, not to mention his bad luck. Anyway, he had nothing to do with the European emperor. One knife sooner, one knife later, one knife sooner or later. I don't believe that I'm still so unlucky after traveling through time. Looking at his dirty black hands, he wiped them carefully on his clothes, praying while wiping, I hope Mother Blue Star will bless me. Do you want to use the talent awakening stone? Phew, use it. As soon as he finished speaking, the talent awakening stone emitted soft white light, covering his whole body in the blink of an eye. The gentle wrapping feeling made him feel like he was back in his mother's arms, warm and secure. Just when Chen Ci was immersed, a golden light came out from his chest and quickly enveloped his whole body like white light. The white light and the golden light slowly merged, and finally both shrank into the brain. Talent awakening successful. Chen Ci subconsciously reached for his neck and pulled out only a red rope. It turned out that the pendant on the red rope was missing. Chen Ci is an orphan. His parents worked in the archaeological team during his lifetime and often needed to go out together. When I was 13 years old, while returning from an archaeological mission, the plane my parents were traveling on crashed, killing more than 100 people on board. After his parents passed away, Chen Ci, who had no one to support him, was sent to the Tomato Orphanage. The huge blow made him taciturn, accustomed to being alone and unwilling to communicate. As an adult, I stay at home and never go out. Fortunately, I still have some friends online with whom I can communicate. The pendant around his neck was a birthday gift from his father, and it was also the last gift he received. The pendant was picked up by my father during archaeology. It is the size of a peanut and looks like a jade furnace. It is very delicate. Congratulations to the survivors for awakening their talent, synthesis. Talent, synthesis. Level 1. Quality, none. Introduction. The product of the fusion of Blue Star's will and unknown origin rules, the awakening conditions are harsh, cannot be copied, and the talent is unique. Ability introduction. You can summon a synthesis furnace, using one item as the main material, 2 to 9 items as auxiliary materials, and fusing them into new items. System prompts brought Chen Ci from memory back to reality. The only talent? Chen Ci was a little surprised. Although he didn't know how strong his ability was, according to the conventional setting of the novel, the only talent was the protagonist's standard equipment, which was referred to as Golden Finger. Moreover, according to the information in his mind, his original talent was not synthesized, but the combination of the furnace pendant and the talent stone made it synthetic. After awakening, Chen Xiai automatically learns how to use his talent. He can synthesize several items into a new item through the synthesis furnace. New items may be enhancements of original items, or they may mutate into other types of items, which is highly random. The real person card drawing in the Ruins World version. I hope the card pool is stronger. Chen Xiai had a smile on his face. The pendant did not disappear, but changed into another appearance to help him. It's a pity that I'm broke now and don't have the resources to synthesize it for the time being. Shaking his head, he put all the items from the novice gift pack into his inventory, and then opened the attribute panel. Get ready to continue learning about other features of the system. The property panel is divided into two parts, the personal property panel and the shelter property panel. Personal attributes. Level 0. Physique, 4. Spirit, 6. Perception, 5. Energy, 0. Skill, none. Talent, synthesis. The average attribute of an adult is 5. Chen Xiai has the attributes of an ordinary person, and his physique is even lower than that of a normal adult. This is normal. He seldom exercises, often stays up late and eats junk food. He is a sub-healthy person. The only surprising thing is that his energy level is above average, which may be related to the fact that he often stays up late playing games and reading novels. Staying up late is also a way of cultivating immortality. Then go to the Shelter Properties panel. Shelter. Level 0, Shaky Wooden House. Upgrade the shelter quickly, the wooden house cannot protect you at this time. Facilities, none, the shelter is poor and useless. Upgrade, 0/100 wood, 0/10 stone, 0/1 iron. After opening the Shelter Properties panel, Chen Xiai automatically obtained relevant information. Building a building requires drawings and materials. Blueprints can be obtained by opening boxes, while materials need to be collected in the wild, and they will be turned into standard units when placed in the inventory. I must give it a thumbs up, the handicapped guy really doesn't know how to repair a house. Chen Xiai was very satisfied with the game-like operation of Ruin World. He looked at the trading panel and the manufacturing panel in turn. The trading panel requires the shelter to be level 1 before it can be opened, and it cannot be opened now. The manufacturing panel can make items, but currently only 4 items can be made. Other items can only be unlocked after building a tool bench. Stone knife. Crafting materials, 0 to 1 stone. Stone axe. Production materials, 0/1 stone, 0/1 wood. Stone pickaxe. Production materials, 0/1 stone, 0/1 wood. Tool table. Crafting materials, 0/2 wood, 0/2 stone. Materials are needed to upgrade the shelter and make items. After eating some food, it's time to go out and work. Try to repair the wooden house today. Chen Xiai took out a bottle of water from the inventory, 1 L of mineral water, drank half of the bottle in one gulp, and ate another portion of dry food. Put the remaining half bottle of water back into the inventory and prepare to collect wood and stones. As soon as he stood up, 2 boxes fell to the ground. They were the treasure boxes picked up on the road. A treasure chest was found, do you want to open it? Huh. It turns out that the condition for opening the treasure chest is to build a shelter. Chen Xiai was overjoyed. Being impoverished, everything he opened was useful, open them all. Get bread *10, mineral water *10, wood *20, stone *20, fence drawing *1. There are drawings. Chen Xiai curiously checked the properties of the drawing. Fence. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, the shelter is a defensive building that can block enemy attacks. Construction materials, 0/1 wood/meter. Hiss, the yard needs to be around 100 meters anyway. If we can't build it, we can build it at the bottom. Putting the drawings into the inventory, he continued to count the remaining materials. The materials for making stone axes, stone pickaxes and tool tables are all complete. Make the stone axe first. Tools are needed to pull wood. He opened the manufacturing panel. Stone axe, ordinary wood 1/1, stone 1/1. Materials meet. Confirm build. Ding. Congratulations on getting the stone axe *1. There was a stone axe as long as an adult's arm on the ground. The axe handle is wrist-thick wood, and the axe head is polished from an unknown stone, which is extremely smooth and sharp. Stone axe. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, brand new axe, a sharp tool for chopping wood. You are the most handsome boy in primitive society. I didn't expect the system to be a naughty ghost. Chen Xiai was speechless. He picked up the stone axe and made a few gestures. It felt really good. The stone axe is exquisitely crafted, and if he were to polish it, he would be exhausted and unable to make it like this. With the logging tools, he planned to cut down the trees first and collect the materials to upgrade the shelter as soon as possible. Go out and turn southwest, heading for the bushes. When Chen Xiai came here before, he saw some small trees there. The danger at the edge of the jungle was limited, which was perfect for collecting wood. After hurriedly walking for a long time, Chen Xiai finally came to the bushes. Without saying much, he rolled up his sleeves, picked up the stone axe, and started the lumberjack work. The thud of felling trees began to echo across the wilderness. It took almost 10 minutes of continuous chopping to chop down a small tree. After putting it in the inventory, I got 3 units of wood. Damn, I'm so tired. I didn't expect cutting down trees to be so tiring. It can be seen from the wood harvest that the tree Chen Xiai chopped down was not big, but it was not easy for him to chop down such a small tree. Chen Xiai had never been involved in logging before and didn't know how to exert force at all. He could only cover his head and exert force. However, he was not discouraged or complained, and rested while chopping. The work continued until the sun was about to set, and a total of 24 units of wood were harvested. It was my first time to chop down a tree, and my movements were irregular. Not only did I get a lot of blood blisters on my hands, but my arms were also sore and weak. Fortunately, there is an inventory, otherwise he wouldn't be able to take it back after cutting it. It's getting late, so that's it for today. Chen Xiai didn't dare to hang around outside after dark. The way back to the cabin was very peaceful, probably because he was a novice and had never encountered a wild beast, let alone the mutated creature prompted by the system. When Chen Xiai returned to the shelter, there was only a glimmer of light left in the sky. According to the novice tips, during the 3-day protection period, the wild beast will automatically ignore the shelter and will not attack at night, so even if the wooden house is in dilapidated condition, he will be safe at night. Thanks to the big hole in the roof, there is still light in the wooden house, so it is not difficult to see. While he could still see, Chen Xiai wanted to build a tool table and see if he could make something useful. Open the manufacturing panel. Tool table, normal wood 2/2, stone 2/2. Materials meet. Confirm construction. On the right side of the wooden house near the door, a virtual building emerged. As the materials on the ground slowly disappeared, the tool table gradually solidified. Ding! The tool table was constructed successfully. Chapter 3 Bronze Treasure Chest. Tool table. Quality, ordinary. Introduction. The core of the shelter making items, it has basic drawings and can be used to make daily necessities. Chen Xiai came to the tool table, concentrated his attention, and a transparent virtual panel automatically appeared in front of his eyes. There is a row of lists on the left side of the panel, which displays the items that the tool bench can currently produce. By sliding it up and down, it can make basic daily necessities such as wooden beds, wooden tables, wooden stools, and wooden barrels. This is a furniture factory. Chen Xiai complained. In addition to various wooden furniture, there are also wooden tableware, but there are no torches, bedding, and the like. After closing the panel, Chen Xiai noticed that there were many tools on the tool table, including wood files, hand planers, and saws, all used for woodworking work. He only knew part of it and had never used it at all. However, this does not affect the production of items. According to the information just obtained, the tool table can be produced automatically and manually. Automatic production can only produce items of ordinary quality, and the sizes are relatively rigid. Chen Ci first called up the wooden bed on the list and confirmed its production. You can do it without a bed, but you can't do it without a bed. Wooden bed, normal wood 2 halves. The materials are sufficient and the production time is 0.2 hours. Confirm production. Chen Ci has not arranged any more production tasks. The wood is limited and needs to be reserved to upgrade the shelter. He took out a piece of dry food and water from the inventory, and sat on the ground leaning against the wall. While eating, I opened the chat panel and looked at the World Channel. There were actually some survival experiences summarized by great masters. Chiang 388, I hope some of my personal experiences and conjectures can help you. 1. Judging from the prompts at the beginning, the 3-day protection period for newcomers should be to allow us to adapt to the world of ruins. After 3 days, you are likely to encounter the mutated creatures mentioned in the prompt, so everyone must gather the resources to upgrade the shelter as soon as possible. Of course, if you open a gold mine from the novice gift pack, I didn't tell you. 2. Today I searched the surrounding area for 2 kilometers and saw no other survivors. This means that this different world is very large and the survivors are far away from each other. At present, everyone can only deal with it alone. The good news is that there are abundant natural resources in the wild, and there are also treasure chests. Materials can be found in treasure chests. It is not yet known whether the treasure chests will be refreshed like in the game. If you are able, you can go out and look for them. 3. Before upgrading the shelter, the trading function cannot be turned on, and everyone still needs to collect initial resources in person. After upgrading, you can go to the trading channel to purchase supplies and exchange supplies. By the way, there is another good news. There are very few animals in the wild, and no large animals have been seen. I guess it is because of the novice stage. For, everyone knows that our original world has been destroyed. The reason why the ruin world saved mankind is unknown, but we are definitely valuable and will not be consumed at will. Everyone must first ensure their own survival. 5. Survival is not easy. Here are some common sense about survival in the wilderness. I hope it will help everyone survive. I also hope that everyone can share knowledge, help each other, and survive together. Thank you for sharing, boss. I picked up 2 treasure boxes today. Finally, someone has come up with a guide. I'm going to bow down to the boss. Good sharing. I also have a few things to note. The atmosphere in the channel is good, many people responded to thank me, and some shared what they learned today. Chen Ci also replied with thanks below the message. The survival knowledge in the message was helpful to him. The knowledge and experience in the World Channel have greatly inspired him. For example, some people are experimenting with collecting wood without cutting down trees. They only need to collect branches and leaves into the inventory. If the quantity is enough, the system will automatically generate a unit of wood, which can greatly save physical strength and time. There are talents among the water friends. Chen Ci sighed and quickly wrote down his experience, planning to try it tomorrow. Then I opened the regional channel and found that the messages were constantly being refreshed. However, those few people did not speak during the day, probably because they had exhausted the number of messages. Browsing through the chat history, most of them were posts asking for help or showing off about awakened powers. However, Lu Igua forwarded a few survival experience posts from the World Channel. He seemed to be an enthusiastic brother. After eating, he stood up and walked to the tool table. The wooden bed had already been produced. The wooden bed is a single bed, 1.8 meters long. He is 175 centimeters tall, which is enough for him. Chen Ci took a step forward, dragged the wooden bed to the north of the wooden house, and placed it against the wall away from the door. I simply moved my body, picked up the stone axe and put it on the bedside, rubbed my sore arms and thighs, and leaned on the bed in a daze. Gradually, sleepiness began to rise, and soon he fell into a deep sleep. He had a dream in which his deceased parents reunited with him in this world, built a luxurious shelter together, and lived happily. As the sun rises and the moon sets, a streak of fish-belly white appears on the horizon. Since his parents passed away, Chen Xiai has suffered from insomnia every night, often waking up in the middle of the night, and his sleep quality is very poor. The stimulation of the doomsday time travel coupled with the fatigue, Chen Xiai experienced a deep sleep for the first time in a long time, and after waking up, the depression in his heart disappeared a lot. In the early morning, the light in the wooden house was still very dark. Chen Xiai fumbled to get up and simply solve his personal problems. Eating bread and drinking mineral water, he walked towards the bush again along the same road as yesterday. He also collects wood this morning. There are still 61 wood and 1 iron left to upgrade the shelter. Chen Xiai was thinking as he walked. The first step was to upgrade the shelter. Both the Ruins World and the World Channel reminded that the shelter was the foundation. Wood is easy to collect, but iron is hard to find. I'll go around in the afternoon and see if I can find it. While thinking, Chen Xiai returned to the place where he cut down the trees yesterday. He did not pick up the stone axe to chop, but collected leaves and shrub branches, piled them together in the open space, and tried to put them in the inventory. Obtain wood *1. It worked. The method in the experience post is true. Chen Xiai smiled happily. This can greatly save energy and time, and there is no need to worry about wood. Time passed slowly, and half a day passed in a flash. Chen Xiai wiped his sweat and looked at the inventory. Wood *115, wild fruit *30, plant fiber *20. The wood has been upgraded, and wild fruits and plant fibers are byproducts of tree harvesting. The wild fruits are very sour and the taste is quite touching, but Chen Xiai still collects them because they are a good thing to supplement vitamins. He didn't plan to roll up wood again in the afternoon. He planned to go west along the mountain range to see. He couldn't get iron blocks by rolling wood, so he couldn't upgrade the shelter. Braving the sun, we returned to the shelter and had a quick bite to eat. Chen Xiai clicked on the tool table panel. Stone knife, normal stone 1/1. Confirm production. After a moment, a stone knife appeared on the tool table. The stone knife is a blueprint that comes with the system. It is about 30 centimeters long, has a smooth surface, and has been sharpened. In the afternoon, he went to explore the new environment and had to make preparations. After cutting so much wood, the stone axe had already chipped and was almost ready to be scrapped. Set off. Chen Xiai took the stone knife and explored westward along the foot of the mountain, while his eyes wandered around and searched. The treasure chest is very small, and it is easy to miss the items if you are not careful. After walking about 2 kilometers, he found a pile of gravel and walked over to put it in his inventory. Stone +14. Sure enough, collecting resources is much easier than collecting, but the uncertainty is relatively high, and we don't know what resources can be harvested. Continuing to walk forward for 3 kilometers, I found a small forest in front of me, with sparse and low trees. Go over and see if there are any fruits. The novice gift packs are all dry food. If there are fruits, you should be able to trade some good things. Chen Xiai silently thought about it. But as soon as he walked into the woods, he was attracted by a touch of metallic luster in the grass under the trees. If he saw it correctly, it was a bronze treasure chest. Immediately, he beamed with joy. Bronze treasure chest. I want to give it away. He stepped forward excitedly and hurriedly reached out to touch the bronze box. Suddenly, Chen Xi's expression changed drastically and his body fell to the side. Chapter 4 Shelter Upgrade. Before Chen Xiai fell, he saw a triangular head passing by his hand, and the back of his hand even touched the slippery scales. If I hadn't been careful just now and noticed it with my peripheral vision, would have considered how many bowls of Mengpa soup I should drink. After Chen Xiai landed on the ground, he rolled sideways, stood up with his hands, and looked at the ground with a livid face. MD, Grass Assassin. A snake coiled on the ground, about 50 centimeters long, with a large triangular head, an open mouth with exposed fangs, and a body covered with fine emerald green scales. It was a bamboo leaf green, it was the one that suddenly jumped out of the grass just now, wanting the snake to kiss him. After seeing the enemy clearly, Chen Xiai took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down. Slightly bending down and lowering his center of gravity, he held the knife in his right hand and slowly approached Zweiking. All his attention was focused on the poisonous snake, and he quickly chopped it down with his knife before it swung its tail and jumped up. With a snapping sound, the stone knife struck the poisonous snake hard, and the huge force knocked it away. Chen Xiai quickly let go of the stone knife, took out the stone axe from the inventory, and hit the snake's head with the axe with both hands, then the second axe, and the third axe, until the snake's head was smashed to pieces. "Whether you're dead or not, you still want to bite me," Chen Xiai said harshly, trying to soothe his fears. It is no exaggeration to say that life hangs by a thread. In this wilderness, if you are bitten by a poisonous snake, you can basically declare the whole book to be over. The stone knife is the tip of a silver pewter spear. He got closer and looked at the snake's body. The sharp knife he had just cut through the scales, and the stone knife did not cause much damage at all. If he hadn't made a decisive decision just now and used a stone axe to hit him, it's really not certain who would win and who would lose. Chen Xiai also regained his composure at this time, put the dead snake into the inventory, and muttered, "It's just a piece of meat. I don't like eating it, but it can be traded to other people. There are always people who like to eat snakes." He bent down and picked up the stone knife. This time he had a better memory and did not directly reach for the treasure box. Cutting off a long branch and flicking it around in the grass is commonly known as striking the grass and frightening the snake. After repeatedly confirming that there was no risk, he bent down and picked up the treasure box. Obtain treasure chest, bronze, *1. I learned from the chat channel yesterday that there are currently two types of treasure chests, wooden and bronze. Wood is generally basic materials, food, water, etc. The survivor who found the bronze treasure chest didn't say what he gained in the channel, but it must be very precious and of high quality. Open, can't wait to go back. Chen Xiai followed his heart. This was the first bronze treasure chest, and he was too curious about what he could find. As for waiting to open it after returning home, only a self-controlled person can do it, at least a Huaqing student. A green light filled the air from the treasure box. He squinted slightly and looked into the treasure chest. The light slowly dissipated, revealing 3 light balls. It is indeed a bronze treasure chest, it has a sense of ceremony. Chen Xiai sighed with emotion. Pick up the light ball on the right, the image inside seems to be a knife. After crushing the ball of light, a horizontal knife fell into his hand. Sure enough. Chen Xiai looked happy and concentrated on checking the attributes of Hengdao. Tang Hengdao. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, made of fine iron and forged hundreds of times, this is probably not the artifact of Novice Village, right? Chen Xiai rubbed the Hengdao and couldn't put it down. Few men don't like knives, just like few women don't like bags. If there are any exceptions, please refer to gay. This will be my main weapon from now on. Chen Xiai picked up the light ball on the right again and crushed it. What came out was a piece of craft paper, which was full of ghost symbols and the specific meaning was unclear. Torch drawing, normal, a lighting tool, essential for dispelling darkness and traveling at night. Production requires 1 wood *1, plant fiber or cloth *1. It's actually a blueprint and a torch. It should have some financial potential, right? Chen Xiai thought it was good. He didn't dare to use flint to light the fire last night, mainly because he was afraid of burning down his wooden house. Friends who often light fires may not know that for novices, it is difficult to light a fire and it is even more difficult to maintain it. Therefore, as long as the trading channel is opened, torch can be used as a flagship product. He lacked lighting tools, and others probably also lacked them. If the torches sell well, I won't have to work hard to plant trees. Capitalists will be much more comfortable than workers. Chen Xiai felt that the probability of a big hit was very high. There were nearly 5 billion survivors in the world. There would always be someone who needed a torch, and he could live with just a fraction. The only problem is the raw materials. I can't make a few by just collecting plant fibers, and I have to rely on trading. After thinking for a long time, Chen Xiai picked up the last ball of light, opened the item, which was a scroll, and looked at its properties attentively. Arrow Tower, normal, a defensive building that can automatically fire wooden arrows or stone arrows. It can also arrange for defenders to stand on the observation deck and shoot to protect the shelter. Production materials: wood *100, stone *100, iron *1. Regarding Arrow Tower, Chen Xiai was both excited and helpless. This is a defensive building blueprint. As long as the manufacturing materials are complete, it can be constructed directly. The shelter has an arrow tower, and the safety factor will be greatly increased. But we don't have enough materials to build it. We need to upgrade the shelter now. We can't take care of the arrow tower. We can only build it at the bottom of the box like a fence. Chen Xiai put all the things away, and the inventory was actually full. There were food *14, water *14, flint *1, wood *115, stone *30, plant fiber *20, stone axe *1, stone knife *1, arrow tower *1, torch *1. The wild fruits are placed in the shelter, and the horizontal knife is in hand. While it's still early, we searched the area carefully and found that there is still 1 unit of iron left to upgrade the shelter. Thinking like this, Chen Xiai started from his feet and searched the woods within a kilometer. It may be that the previous bronze treasure box exhausted all his luck. He wandered in the woods for more than 2 hours and only collected 15 pieces of wood and 10 pieces of wild fruits. As for the treasure chest, no shadow was seen. That's all we can do today. It seems we can't upgrade the shelter. I might as well go up the mountain to look for it tomorrow. Disappointment is definitely disappointing, but more importantly, it is boredom and heartache. Chen Xiai is a bit obsessive. The current situation is like downloading a short movie. The paper is all ready, but the progress bar is stuck at 99.99%, which is annoying. After wandering around again and confirming that he had gained nothing, Chen Xiai walked to the shelter unwillingly. He walked into the cabin before the sun set. At this time, there were several red clouds floating in the light blue sky, covering the wooden house with red makeup. Chen Xiai took out the stone knife and stone axe and put them down. Then he went to the tool bench and spent 1 unit of wood to make a wooden barrel. He picked up the barrel and walked towards the East River. Even though we are single, we can't be stinky every day. He was going to fetch some water. He had been sweating a lot in the past 2 days, and his whole body smelled sour. Although he is a stinky man, he still loves to be clean. If he hadn't been rushing to collect resources, he would have gone to the river to take a bath at noon. The river on the east side is about 40 meters wide. The water is very clear and the flow is not fast, but no fish or shrimps are seen. Chen Xiai took a wooden stick and explored the pebbles on the shore, looking for a sturdy place to fill the barrel. I took a wooden stick to test the water depth by the river, and it was only about 1 meter. There was no one around, so he simply took off his clothes and stood on the cobblestones to take a shower. By the way, I threw the clothes I took off into the water and washed them. I didn't want to wash them clean, just remove the smell. Fortunately, there are no fish or shrimps. Otherwise, I would lose face. While joking to myself, I inadvertently saw the corner of the wooden box under the cobblestones in the distance. Chen Xi's heart trembled, and he quickly stepped forward and pushed aside the cobblestones. There was really a wooden treasure chest underneath. I have a hunch that it will definitely work this time. With excitement and anxiety, he reached out and opened the treasure box. Congratulations on getting 20 wood, 20 stone, and 5 iron blocks. Ha, great. Chen Xiai was ecstatic, laughing happily while looking at the supplies at hand, and the annoyance in his heart was swept away. Quickly putting away the supplies and picking up the bucket, Chen Xiai walked quickly to the shelter. He didn't want to wait any longer. Upgrade the shelter immediately. In just a few minutes, he returned to the shelter, more than twice as fast as when he left. Entering the wooden house, Chen Xiai couldn't wait to take out 100 units of wood, 10 units of stone and 1 unit of iron. Materials are sufficient. Are you sure you want to upgrade the shelter? Confirm. Ask the living to leave the shelter and prepare to upgrade. Upon hearing the prompt, Chen Xiai walked out of the shelter and stood in the open space in front of the door. I saw a dazzling white light glowing in the shelter. After a few breaths, the white light subsided, and the wooden house took on a new look. Several lines of prompts appear automatically. Ding! The shelter has been upgraded successfully, unlocking the trading function, unlocking the personal collection function, and unlocking the personal exploration function. The trading function is unlocked. Currently, the trading function can only be performed in the shelter and cannot be used in the wild. To use the transaction function, you need to place the items for sale in the inventory, and the system will automatically transfer them after the transaction is completed. Purchased items are temporarily stored in the system, and withdrawals need to be confirmed at the shelter. Chapter 5 Material Transaction. Shelter. Level 1 Basic Shelter, Wooden House Shape, Weak Protection Ability, Dry Weather, Beware of Fire. Facilities, Tool Table. Upgrade, Wood 200, Stone 200, Iron 10, Glass 2. Chen Xiai looked at the brand new wooden house carefully. The cracks that previously penetrated the wooden house disappeared, and there was an additional window on the east and west sides. Walking into the wooden house, the large hole in the roof has been repaired and the ground has been turned into stone slabs. The wooden wall was very thick and strong. He knocked on it, and the sound was not as weak as before. The interior of the wooden house is divided into 3 parts. After entering the door, there is a square space, and his sundries are piled in the center. This can be used as a warehouse for easy access, or a table can be placed as a buffer zone, so that if a wild animal breaks in, it can be dealt with. Chen Xiai secretly thought to himself that this was supposed to be the living room, but he was the only one around for several kilometers, so where could the guests come from? There is a wooden door on the right side of the door. Open it and look, the tool table is here, then this is the workshop. The tool table is under the window, making it easy to observe the outside situation while working. Chen Xiai crossed the hall, opened the door and walked into the innermost rectangular room. The wooden bed was placed in the corner. This is the bedroom, it's okay, it's safe inside. After studying the layout of the wooden house, he opened the system to check out the new functions. Look at the trading system first. Whether you can become a capitalist depends on the present. The trading panel is divided into 2 parts. On the left is the market, which are all shops run by survivors. There are all kinds of products, ranging from ants and butterflies to tables and stools. Chen Xiai just browsed briefly for a while, then looked at the personal store on the right side of the panel. Personal store, survivors can post items for sale, put the items for sale into the inventory and determine the unit price. After the transaction is completed, the system will be responsible for transmitting it. It seems that the trading store cannot be used as a warehouse, and the types of goods sold should not be too many, otherwise it will occupy the inventory. Chen Xiai shook his head. He had thought about whether there was a bug, but it seemed like there was no way at the moment. Try gathering and probing. He took out the poisonous snake and examined it intently. Bamboo leaf green, level 0 ordinary level. Tube-toothed venomous snakes are good at hiding and highly venomous. Collection. Obtain snake meat, normal, *1, snake skin, normal, *1, snake venom, normal, *1. This skill is good, it can be called a novice's magic skill. That is to say, the system functions will be complete only after the upgrade. Before, it was equivalent to a tourist. Chen Xiai complained. Collecting and exploring are very practical, especially important for those without wilderness experience. With detection, you won't miss the treasure, and you won't eat poison by mistake. And decomposition can help him solve the analysis work that he has no idea how to start. Chen Xiai sat by the bed and opened the chat channel, took out the dry food and ate while watching. As soon as the regional channel system was opened, a prompt was sent. The regional channel unlocks the speech limit and no longer limits the number of times. Damn it, how many functions were restricted before? Chen Xiai blinked. The ruins world was forcing them to upgrade the shelter. Upgrading would mean being a regular worker. If they didn't upgrade, they would be temporary workers. Everyone, have you gone home? How was your harvest today? It's really hard. I used to be able to level up after playing the game for 10 minutes, but now it's not enough to chop down trees for a day. Grandpa is exhausted. I'm running out of water. I'll die of thirst without water. Can anyone kindly give me some water? Upstairs, I have a lake with plenty of water, but I can't give it to you. You should upgrade as soon as possible. He didn't even go out to level up. He asked for water and food 7 or 8 times. How come I haven't encountered any animals, and I don't even know how powerful the supernatural powers are? I have successfully upgraded. After the upgrade, there is no limit to the number of chats. Come on, let's chat for half an hour. Worship the boss. I admire you, boss. I still need an iron. Where can I find it? Me too. Plus 10,086. This is just like the blessing of dedication. Chen Ci was thankful that he was lucky. I have been lurking in the regional group for a long time, but there is no useful information. He opened the trading channel and checked the commodity price. After all, time is short, and most of the products on sale are useless personal items, such as nose rings and necklaces, which are relatively cheap. Like clothes, the asking price starts from 100 units of wood. This is normal. If someone has a knife or a gun, he will definitely not take action. No one is stupid. There are very few people selling iron blocks, and there are only orders for materials whose current uses are unclear and easy to obtain. In fact, the most scarce things for survival are food and water, but the novice gift package directly provides drinking water, which reduces the opportunity for some waterfront shelters to make a fortune. On the trading market, 1 L of water can be exchanged for 3 units of wood, and there is some profit. I go to the river to collect water and need to return to the shelter to trade. It may be better than logging and mining, but it is limited. Chen Ci thought about it carefully and found that the water price was too cheap and he was still earning hard-earned money. There are so many people near the water. These hundreds or thousands of liters shipped will not be soaked in the water, right? Unlike water, food is more expensive, and 1 unit of food can be exchanged for 8 to 10 units of basic resources. Now food is basically obtained from treasure chests, and the access channels are unstable. Everyone is afraid that they will have less food, and it is normal for the price to be high. There is still a novice gift package here, otherwise the price of food would have skyrocketed, and it would not be a dream to exchange it for 100 yuan. Of course Chen Ci will not sell food, at least not until he has a stable source. If possible, he would also like to buy some. I only saw 2 drawings, namely the drawing of the scabbard and the drawing of the trash can. Not to mention they are useless and the price is very good. However, medicines, bedding, etc. are both scarce and very expensive. They often cost as much as 100 units of wood, and some even cost 500 units. I don't even think about it, 500 units is not something that early-stage survivors can come up with. The survivors don't have many things in their hands, and there are only a limited number of people who can upgrade the shelter. These are all inflated. But when Chen Ci saw this, he knew what he should do. He opens his personal store. Seller, Chen Ci 997. Trading item, wild fruit *1. Items required, plant fiber or cotton *5. Remarks, edible wild fruits, sweet and sour taste, vitamin supplement, can be used as food to satisfy hunger, don't miss it when passing by. There are few lighting tools on the market and the prices are very high, but the torch business can be done. Taking advantage of the high price of food now, I just used wild fruits to exchange for some raw materials. After a while, Chen Ci received many private messages. Some want to trade wood, some want to make friends and talk about relationships, and some want to bargain. Although it was very shameful for him to exchange wild fruits that no pig would eat in exchange for 5 units of resources, he couldn't bear the high price of food now. After a while, Chen Ci finally saw a piece of useful information. Lu Xiaoya 11, hello, I have 45 units of cotton here, and I plan to exchange it for 10 units of wild fruits. If you agree, you can trade it immediately. The avatar is of a heroic woman with a delicate face and short hair. Chen Xi's eyes flashed as he thought. The opponent can take out 45 units of cotton at once, so the probability of opening the box is low. It is most likely that there are wild cotton fields near the shelter. If there is a stable supply of cotton, it can be cheaper. So he replied, now that food prices are high, cotton is not of much use at the moment. It is already very cheap for me to exchange for 5 units. Lu Xiaoya 11, since you harvest a lot of cotton, you must have relevant drawings. There is a cotton field around me that can provide you with stable raw materials. And as you said, cotton is of little use at present, and I also need you to buy it, so I won't regret it. This person is quite direct. Chen Xidao, you will continue to provide me with cotton tomorrow, and the price can be negotiated. Lu Xiaoya 11, no problem, but I need other resources tomorrow. Wood and stone are both available. 1 wood can be exchanged for 1, and stone can be exchanged 1 for 2. Chen Xi thought for a while and then agreed to the transaction. The risk of 5 units of materials could still be taken. Soon the transaction was completed. Record, lost wild fruit *10. Record, congratulations on getting cotton *45. I saw that the wild fruits placed in the inventory disappeared, and there was a pile of cotton on the ground. On the other side, there is a wooden house with the same style as Chen Xi. A short-haired woman with a delicate face and wearing sportswear said happily, with the wild fruits, we have collected all the materials and will make them on the shelves immediately. She is Lu Xiaoya. There is indeed a field of wild cotton surrounding the shelter, but there are no rocks around it. Fortunately, she found several treasure chests, successfully collected enough upgrade materials, and even developed a blueprint. Qingwen tea, ordinary, it can prevent influenza and improve the body's immunity. It is delicious and affordable. It is a regular drink. Materials required, Isatis root *1, wild fruit *1. Lu Xiaoya opened Banlangen from the treasure chest, but found no wild fruits around, so she traded with Chen Xi. If we find a channel to collect cotton and stabilize it, we won't have to rely solely on luck, treasure boxes, to collect materials later. Lu Xiaoya thought secretly. Chapter 6 First Synthesis. After completing the transaction with Lu Xiaoya, Chen Xi put all the cotton on the ground into his inventory. After looking at the trading shop, I thought about it and put the price of snake meat on 10 units of cotton. I don't eat snake meat. I just want to get rid of it now that food prices are high. After putting it on the shelf, he went to the workshop and took out the torch drawings. Use the torch drawing. The next second, a white light flashed, the drawing disappeared into the tool table, and the torch option appeared at the top of the list on the left side of the tool table. Take out the materials from the inventory and select crafting. Torch made successfully. Torch, ordinary, a simple red lighting tool, a great tool for going out at night, windproof and not easy to extinguish. Burns continuously for 2 hours. The torch is about 1 meter long and the stick is 6 centimeters in diameter and is very strong. Chen Xi picked up the test. There was no need to start a fire. He scratched the head of the torch on the stone surface and it started to burn with a bang. It's great. The little torches are all black technology. He is very satisfied. The simpler and easier to use, the higher the value, and the future of money will be bright. Open the trading channel and sell all the snake meat and wild fruits. He now has 49 units of wood and 214 units of plant fiber and cotton. Produce 49 torches and put them on the shelves to test the waters. With this in mind, Chen Xi quickly arranged the production of torches. Half an hour later, the production of the torches was completed and he put them all on the shelves immediately. Seller, Chen Xi 997. Items for sale, torch *49. Trading item, wood *5. Remarks, the lighting artifact has its own fire igniting function. It can be used as a fire pleat. It burns as you use it and can continue to burn for 2 hours. Why not prepare a torch in the wilderness? The stock is limited, first come first served, each person is limited to 1 purchase. At present, most survivors do not have lighting tools, and modern people who are accustomed to feasting have difficulty walking in the dark night. As a lighting tool, torches should be easy to sell. Regarding purchase restrictions, Chen Xiai has his own plans. Torches are consumables and will be purchased repeatedly in the future. He wants more people to see them and screen and cultivate old customers. Once your store has established a reputation, you can put other items on the shelves and you won't have to worry about sales. This is very similar to Blue Star Live broadcast. The higher the reputation, the better the fortune. World Chat Channel. Someone is selling torches on the trading channel. How to make this thing? What else can be done? This technology must be produced by the system. Identify the European Emperor. It's too late. The last one was taken down by me. It's really useful. Damn it, you've traveled through time, do you still have to fight for hand speed? Soon, this wave of tap water was drowned by other news. Chen Xiai was slightly startled. He wanted to go up there to divert traffic, but he didn't expect it to be sold out so quickly. The search for lighting tools is very popular. Record, lost torch *49. Record, congratulations on harvesting wood *245. Doing business is indeed more profitable than working. This is the primitive accumulation of resources. Chen Xiai laughed. This wave of laughter was more than what he gained from working hard all day long. There are still 165 units of cotton, so we must not miss this opportunity to produce torches. 2 hours later, 165 torches were produced. During this period, Chen Xiai also used 10 units of wood to reward himself with a set of tables, chairs, and cabinets. Looking at the torches all over the ground, Chen Xiai didn't plan to trade wood this time, as the wood was enough for the time being. The next time the shelter needs to be upgraded, he still needs stones. He plans to trade 50 torches for stones and keep the rest. Tomorrow is the last day of the novice period. In order to cope with the test, the survivors are likely to get good things. Sell, torch *1, exchange, stone *5. The torch was sold out quickly after it was put on the shelves, and 250 units of stone were obtained. I have 80 units of wood, 290 units of stone and 4 units of iron blocks. With the addition of torches, the shelter can be upgraded again. Chen Xiai returned to the bedroom, undressed and leaned on the wooden bed to read the news, his eyes slowly becoming empty. I gained a lot tonight, and I should be considered a small asset among survivors. If I work harder tomorrow, there is a high chance that I can upgrade the shelter again. While thinking about it, the torch burned out, and the wooden house fell into darkness. The lights were forced to be turned off, which brought a deep sleepiness, and soon the sound of snoring could be heard. The next day. It was dawn, and as soon as Chen Xiai opened his eyes, he saw the system panel automatically appearing. System prompt: today is the last day for novice protection. We hope all survivors will work hard to upgrade the shelter. Increase the number of treasure chests to be refreshed, and increase the number of field materials to be refreshed. Chen Xiai saw 2 important reminders early in the morning. Chen Xiai was so confused that his brain suddenly woke up. He opened the chat channel and found that the topics were all related to this. Refresh the treasure chest today. I hope to find a few more. I will be able to upgrade the shelter soon. Damn it, I'm reminded to upgrade the shelter again. It seems the danger is not small. What should I do? What should I do? I didn't go out 2 days ago. Do I have to go out today? I'm so tired after going out upstairs. I'll give you a cool song to express my feelings. 666. There are really stupid people hiding in shelters and not going out. It's not surprising. There are many people who don't accept reality. It would be a shame to die. The chat channel messages kept refreshing, but Chen Xiai was in no mood to continue reading. Every minute in the early stage of survival was very precious. Get up, wash up, eat bread, the main thing is to be quick. Empty the inventory and put the things at home. I'm going to do something big today. His goal is to upgrade the shelter again. When he took out the stone knife and stone axe, he paused. I have Tang Hengdao, but the stone knife is useless to me. I can't sell these things. It would be a pity to throw them away. If you put stone knives and stone axes on the trading channel, people will probably say you have a brain problem. But the flower grower's tradition of thrift and diligence made him reluctant to throw it away. Why don't you try my synthesis furnace? Chen Xiai was very curious about his abilities, but he had been lacking supplies before and the basic materials were not enough to upgrade the shelter, so how could he dare to experiment and waste at will? Now it's waste recycling, it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. He concentrated on summoning, and the synthetic furnace flew out from the sea of consciousness. The synthesis furnace contains 10 space grids, 9 auxiliary material grids in a circle, and the main material grid in the middle. Chen Xiai experimented by putting the materials into the space grid one by one. Main material, stone axe. Auxiliary materials, stone knife, stone material *5, success rate 100%, mutation rate 1%, can it be synthesized? He replaced stone with wood and iron, which greatly reduced the success rate and increased the mutation rate. It's better to pursue a high success rate for the first time. With this idea in mind, Chen Xiai used the initial plan to start the synthesis. The next second, he felt something flow into the synthesis furnace in his head. The synthesis furnace glowed with blue light, and within about 2 minutes, a stone axe fell into his hand. Is this a success? Chen Xi's eyes flashed and he waved his hand to use his exploration skills. Stone axe, level 0 boutique level. High-quality stone axe, an artifact of primitive society, has the additional attribute of sharpness, and its sharpness is increased by 30%. All the gaps on the original axe blade disappeared, the entire stone axe took on a new look, and the axe body flashed blue light from time to time. This is a high-quality stone axe. Synthesized with the same material, the result should be regarded as strengthening. The main material has been strengthened from white ordinary quality to blue quality. Hey, this power is awesome, isn't this a creation? Stone axes are actually not worth much if they become high-quality materials, but other materials definitely have a lot of money. It's a pity that it's not unlimited synthesis, otherwise contract processing would be pretty good. When it was first synthesized, Chen Xiai felt something flow into the synthesis furnace in his head. Now look at the attribute panel again, the spirit has dropped from 6 points to 5 points. Of course, it is the existing spirit, not the upper limit of attributes. It means that this synthesis consumes 1 point of mental power, and he has 6 points of mental power, which means that it can be synthesized up to 6 times. I don't know how fast the mental power is restored, and I don't know whether the synthesis of the stone axe consumes a little bit, or whether the synthesis of all the stone axes consumes a little bit. Chen Xiai shook his head. He did not intend to continue the experiment at this time. Without a little mental energy, he felt a little sleepy. If he continued to experiment, he would not go out today. My ability is obviously suitable for use when resources are abundant. At this time, I can still focus on searching for treasure chests. Chen Xiai no longer delayed, put the stone axe in the inventory, picked up the Tang Hengdao and went out. Today's itinerary has been fully arranged. In the morning, I will go to the bushes to collect plant fibers and make torch raw materials, and in the afternoon, I will search for treasure chests for supplies. Chen Xiai came to the bush yesterday with ease. He took out a high-quality stone axe, randomly selected a small tree and started swinging the axe. After a few blows, the small tree fell to the ground. The boutique level is really awesome. The cutting speed is nearly doubled. I seem to have underestimated the value of the stone axe. The synthesis test was very successful and the results were very good. Chapter 7 The mind is more important. The morning passed quickly, and gone Emperor Chen Xiai was already sweating profusely, leaving salt stains on his clothes. But looking at the harvest in the inventory, I still feel very good. No matter how hard you work, you will get a harvest. It is fascinating to get a bumper harvest with your own hands. Congratulations on harvesting wood *260, plant fiber *80, wild fruit *10. Eat something and I won't go back at noon. Chen Xiai casually found a shady place to sit down, took out dry food and mineral water, and started eating and drinking. Before he came out, he planned to spend the whole day outside. Time was tight and the tasks were heavy. As long as his body could bear it, he would definitely work hard. In the afternoon, I planned to search the forest to the south, searching around the edge of the bushes, and the end point was the shelter. Eat and drink enough, let's set off. Chen Xiai was definitely tired after moving his body, but after all, he was young, energetic and recovered quickly, so he could still bear it. He even felt that the more he worked, the more excited his body became, as if a certain attribute was activated. Heading south for 1 kilometer, the first resource point comes into view. It was an apple tree, full of fruits, growing unexpectedly in the grass. He was certain that there was no such tree when he came here on the first day. Is this time acceleration or teleportation? Chen Xiai complained, but he didn't move slowly and waved his detection skills. Red Fuji apple tree, common, a fruit tree covered with red Fuji apples. The fruit has crispy flesh, sweet and sour taste, fragrance, high quality, and good color, flavor, and flavor. Hey, suddenly I feel that apple is also pretty. Chen Xiai swallowed his saliva and did not rush to pick apples. He swept the grass with a knife to scare away snakes, and then stepped forward and picked all the apples after confirming that there was no danger. Click, 31 apples harvested. Chen Xiai devoured the food, stared at the apple tree with his eyes flashing, thought for a moment, put his hand on the apple tree, collect. The apple tree disappeared instantly, leaving a deep hole in its place. Harvesting apple tree seeds *1. I went and succeeded. He just tried it casually. He couldn't collect it directly when logging before. Is it because apple trees are resource points? Chen Xiai muttered, but unfortunately there was too little information to make a conclusion, so it could only be used as speculation. He had previously tested that shrubs could not be collected directly, but could only be collected after being chopped down. Let's look at the seed properties first. Use the probing technique. Apple tree species, level 0 ordinary level. Can be planted and reproduced. Common tree species can harvest sweet fruits. It's just a tree species. I thought it was a spiritual fruit or something. Chen Xiai shook his head, finished the apple in his hand, and continued walking forward. Based on previous experience, you should have to walk for a while before you can see the forest. After walking for about an hour, there was nothing but grass on the road, and I didn't see half a treasure chest. The long and fruitless search made him feel irritated and anxious. Suddenly, Chen Xiai vaguely smelled a scent, the smell of food. It smells like barbecue. Sniff. Looking for the smell of meat, he quickly moved forward and pushed aside the grass. That's Quanjued roast duck. A world-famous dish, Peking roast duck. The skin of the roast duck is crispy and the meat is tender, melting in your mouth. It is golden in color, charred on the outside and tender on the inside. It is mouth-watering. Holy shit, what the hell, roast duck just out of the oven. I saw the roast duck wrapped in a ball of light, with heat and fragrance seeping out from it. I've never heard of a brand name roast duck that I've never tasted. There was a flood in his mouth. I couldn't wait to smash the ball of light, tear off a piece of duck meat and put it in my mouth. Hiss, it's still hot, it tastes really good, no wonder it's so expensive. With delicious food in his mouth, Chen Xiai didn't want to complain about this outrageous world. The newly reshaped 3 views are shattered again. What the hell is this world? A god's game? A virtual world? Although I was speechless, the meat was really delicious in my mouth. After 2 days of dry food and hard work, ordinary barbecue was delicious, let alone world-famous dishes. However, he restrained himself and only ate the piece on his hand, and put the rest of the roast duck in his inventory, planning to go back and see if he could exchange it for something better. After packing up, Chen Xiai glanced around. Isn't that where I found the first treasure box in front of me? This is a blessed place. Look up at the sky. We don't have enough time to go to the forest. Let's search around. Chen Xiai adjusted his plan flexibly. Judging from the roast duck, the probability of resources appearing around here is very high. And he just thought about it, there are venomous snakes in the forest, and he is still wearing summer quick-drying clothes, which can't stop the venomous snakes from raising their teeth. After making the decision, Chen Xiai immediately turned around and searched eastward. There is a situation. Not long after, he saw 3 big trees more than 2 meters high clustered together, like a family of 3 with 1 husband and 2 wives. Of course, Chen Xiai was not jealous, but there was a bronze box among the stubble of the middle tree. Bronze treasure chest. Chen Xi's eyes shone, but he did not rush over. Instead, he approached cautiously and carefully observed the surrounding situation. Yesterday, some good people made statistics. Survivors who encountered bronze treasure chests were more or less in danger, so they concluded that bronze treasure chests have guardians. Later, the inference was confirmed, and Chen Xiai discovered the situation after getting closer. There is a honeycomb as big as a man's head next to the treasure chest. The honeycomb is hidden behind the leaves, and countless wasps are flying around the treasure chest. Probing. Yellow-footed wasp, level 0, ordinary level, likes to build nests on tree tops, bears grudges, is poisonous, has a strong sense of territory, is highly aggressive, and does not want to provoke. Chen Xiai looked at the honeycomb and then at the treasure box on the tree, scratching his head a little. If he wanted to get the treasure chest, he would have to climb a tree or cut down a tree, and he would have to deal with the bee swarm. He didn't dare to bet that the bee swarm would have no problem with him getting the treasure chest. Looking around, Tang Hengdao was of little use in this situation. It was impossible for him to transform into a peerless swordsman and hack them all to death. There are also long wooden sticks, but his childhood experience told him that poking the honeycomb is unreliable and can cause serious trouble. After a long time, Chen Xi's eyes flashed, yes. He immediately got up and ran back to the bushes. He remembered that there was a wormwood bush near the place where he picked up the roast duck. When he was at the orphanage, the old director often used mugwort to smoke insects, and he wanted to try it. Returning to the lucky place, Chen Xiai began to cut the mugwort with Tang Hengdao, picked up some branches, and carried it back to the grove. Mistral wind. Chen Xiai secretly placed the collected wormwood and branches in the upwind direction, then ran away and took out a flint and steel to guide a wooden stick. Holding the burning stick, he tiptoed back to the wormwood pile and slowly ignited the wormwood pile. Withdraw. Seeing thick smoke rising from the burning fire, he ran away quickly and stared at the aftermath from a distance. There is an inexplicable excitement in my heart, just like when I was a child and I lit a bird's nest. Hey, let's see if you die. I saw billowing smoke rising from mugwort and branches rushing towards the honeycomb. Spurred by this, countless angry wasps rushed out of the hive, and the number was far more than what he just saw. However, even though the wasps were numerous and fierce, they were helpless against the billowing smoke. There was nothing they could do. Just like Chen Xi's horizontal sword was useless against the swarm of bees, the situation turned around. There is some trivia in the scalding flames. Most of the people who die in fires are smoked to death rather than burned to death. The same is true for the beehive, and soon there will be a large number of wasp casualties. It fell to the ground like raindrops, and there were even flying bees attacking the fire, making the sound of flesh exploding. Successful. Chen Xiai smiled proudly and said, "Give them another fatal blow." He carefully moved the cat to the bottom of the tree and looked up at the beehive. There were too few wasps. He silently raised his long stick and ran under the hive to find a good angle. He swung his long stick and poked the honeycomb, then knocked it down into the fire with another swing, then turned around and ran away. The whole movement is fast and accurate. After running more than 10 meters, Chen Xiai turned around and looked back. Many wasps flew out of the hive and were licked by the flames, making a snapping sound. Chen Xiai waited until no wasps flew out, then stepped forward and used a wooden stick to lift the hive out of the fire. At the same time, the system prompts sounded in my ears. Congratulations to the survivors for winning the battle and getting a battle treasure chest *1. Battle chest? Chen Xiai was overjoyed. Although he didn't know what it was, the treasure box was a good thing. And he can ask the system, which is also a new function opened after upgrading the shelter. If the question exceeds the standard, the system will not answer it. In individual battles or territorial wars, the weak will defeat the strong, or the few will defeat the many. After the battle, you will get a battle treasure chest. What is a territorial war? Chen Ci asked. War? Territory? His ears suddenly perked up. Survivor has insufficient authority. Chen Ci was disappointed but not angry. After learning about this function yesterday, he has experimented with many questions, such as why the blue star was destroyed. What exactly is the ruin world? Of course, they are all due to insufficient permissions. Once they are rejected more times, they will gradually stop caring. Unable to get any more information, Chen Ci put the battle treasure box away. Use gather on the hive again. Congratulations to the survivors for obtaining honey, gram, *200, wasp queen corpse, elite, *1. No wonder the system says that the weak will defeat the strong, but this wasp queen is actually a blue elite. Chen Ci's face was full of happiness, and fighting still relied on brains. Cut down the tree and get the treasure chest. He immediately started cutting down the tree, and a moment later he harvested another treasure chest. Staring at the two treasure boxes side by side in front of him, Chen Ci said excitedly, "Open the boxes." Chapter 8 Xuanqiu Sword Technique. Open the bronze treasure chest. Congratulations to the survivors for obtaining the wind-chasing bow, blue, *1, golden sword medicine, white, *1, and small buckler drawing *1. Open the battle chest. Congratulations to the survivors for obtaining blood Ganoderma, blue, *1, skill book Xuanqiu Sword Technique *1. Exercise techniques, equipment, blueprints, a great harvest. Chen Ci happily put all the things in the inventory. He had to search again before dawn. The loot could be studied carefully when he returned to the shelter. Actually, I should go home and drive again. I was impulsive. Chen Ci then walked all the way east to the river, and then north along the river, mainly searching 200 meters west of the river. I don't know if it's because I'm very lucky today, or because the market world has given me a lot of supplies. He found 3 wooden treasure chests again, plus a solar power bank. Before dark, Chen Ci returned to the shelter with a lot of harvest. Work and produce torches. Chen Ci put down his things, ran to the tool table without stopping, took out the plant fibers harvested today, and set up the production of 80 torches. After arranging the production, he sat back at the wooden table and lit the torch. Under the flickering yellow light, I began to sort out today's harvest, starting with 3 wooden treasure boxes. Open 3 treasure chests. Congratulations to the survivors for obtaining wood *150, stone *100, and iron *15. Let's make do, they are all basic supplies. The benefits for the novice phase are indeed relevant. As long as survivors dare to go out and find treasure chests, they can definitely upgrade to the first level shelter. Chen Ci put the basic supplies in the corner, then took out the afternoon harvest and looked at them one by one. Chasing wind bow. Level 1. Quality, boutique. Attribute, arrow initial speed increased by 30%. Introduction, the compound bow is 1 meter long and has a maximum range of 300 meters. The name of the bow is Zhuifeng and it can chase the wind. Gold sword medicine. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, it is mainly used to treat injuries caused by cuts and axes, bruises, pain relief and hemostasis. It is an essential medicine for walking in rivers and lakes. Drawing of small buckler. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Production materials, wood *2, iron *1. Blood Ganoderma. Level 0. Quality, boutique. Introduction, an extraordinary plant from another world. It lasts for 10 years. It tastes sweet. It regulates the body and heals hidden wounds. Xuanqiu Sword Technique. Level 1. Quality, boutique. Attribute, increase shooting speed by 30%. Introduction: the basic sword skills of Wudong from another world. The moves are majestic and unpredictable. After mastering it, you can increase your physical fitness by 2 points. According to the system prompts, the quality of items is divided into 5 levels: white ordinary, blue fine, orange rare, red perfect and golden mythical. Ordinary, high quality, rare, and perfect items carry 0, 1, 2, and 3 additional attributes respectively. The number of additional attributes of mythical items is random. The additional attributes of the item only take effect on creatures equal to or lower than the item level. In other words, even a second-level human who practices Xuanqiu sword technique cannot increase his shooting speed. Blood Ganoderma. Xuanqiu sword technique. Chen Xi's breathing became rapid. Like all Chinese people, he also had a martial arts dream when he was a child. Now dreams have become within reach, and in the ruin world, individuals can be extraordinary and live forever. You're so old, I can't imagine how wonderful the world will be in the future. Chen Xi muttered to himself. After a while, he regained his composure. Blood Ganoderma is a precious medicine that increases physical fitness. You must enjoy it by yourself, but should you use it now or wait until the attributes are higher? You will have a future while you are alive. I cannot make wedding clothes for others. Thinking like this, Chen Xi picked up the blood Ganoderma, broke off a small piece, put it into his mouth and tasted it carefully. It tastes surprisingly good. He thought it was bitter, but it wasn't. On the contrary, it was slightly sweet. After searching all afternoon, Chen Xi was also hungry, so when he saw that it tasted good, he ate a lot. After all, it's a 2-point improvement. In less than 3 minutes, the entire blood Ganoderma lucidum entered the stomach. No reaction. Chen Xi was wondering when he felt a wave of heat surge up from his stomach and flow all over his body in the blink of an eye. Affected by this, the skin all over his body began to turn red, and he felt that his blood was swollen and uncomfortable. It's broken. I ate too much. Chen Xi couldn't help but feel a little thump in his heart. Don't panic, calm down and think of a solution. Taking a deep breath, he tried his best to stay calm, and suddenly he was so blessed that he grabbed the skill book on the table. As the skill book was opened, white light entered Chen Xi's mind with a large amount of information. He seemed to have turned into a stranger, practicing the Xuanqiu sword technique day after day, year after year. In reality, Chen Xi stood up involuntarily, drew out the Tang Hengdao, and followed the image in his mind, and began to use his sword skills. Once, twice, 3 times. He couldn't remember how many times he had cast it. When he came back to his senses, he felt refreshed, all the pain and swelling in his body had disappeared, and he was full of strength. Ha ha ha, a blessing in disguise, a blessing in disguise, I feel like I can hit 10. Chen Xi raised the corner of his mouth crazily and called out, Attribute panel. Personal attributes. Name, Chen Xi. Level, level 0. Physique, physical fitness 6. Spirit, mental power level 6. Perception, soul sensing 5. Energy, 0. Skill, Xuanqiu sword technique, proficient 76%. Talent, synthesis. The average attribute of an adult is 5. Skill levels are divided into entry, proficiency, proficiency, mastery, and mastery. On the attribute panel, Xuanqiu sword technique has passed the entry level and entered the proficiency stage, and is 76% proficient. Chen Xi stroked the Tang sword, and a sense of familiarity arose spontaneously. How to hold the sword and how to exert force seemed to have become instinctive. It was much better than before when he could only chop. His physique only increased by 2 points, but it felt like his strength and agility had doubled. My body is much lighter, the belly I developed while staying at home is gone, and my abdominal muscles are looming. I'm not afraid of the end of the novice period. Chen Xi thought happily. The repeated reminders from the system before made him really stressed. Ding! Harvest torch *80. The system reminds you that the torch is finished. Chen Xi walked to the tool table, put the torch in the inventory, and began to prepare the items for today's transaction. You can sell 180 torches and keep a dozen for your own use. 10 wild fruits, 30 apples, and 1 roast duck can be traded. By the way, there is also a small buckler. Chen Xiai suddenly remembered that he could also make a small buckler. I have 19 units of iron blocks. I need 10 units to upgrade. 9 units can be used to make bucklers. As soon as he thought of it, Chen Xiai entered the drawing of the small round shield into the tool table and started making it. The production of small bucklers takes a long time. If produced automatically, it takes 5 minutes for 1 and 45 minutes for 9. After arranging the production, he first opened the chat channel to see if there was any new news. World Channel. At this time, the chat channel was already busy. Today, most survivors have found treasure chests and upgraded their shelters. Although the regional channels no longer restrict speech, the most lively and informative ones are the world channels. There were people chatting, people socializing, and many people showing off their harvest. Xiaohuo 1, let me show you what I have gained. Apprentice Staff. Level 1. Quality, blue, fine. Attribute, increases fire damage by 30%. Summary, do you need a magic broom? Chen Xiai remembered Xiaohua, who was from the same area as him, and who showed off his ability to awaken the fireball technique on the first day. Immediately afterwards, several people announced today's harvest. Dimensional Ring. Level 1. Quality, blue, fine. Properties, contains 3 cubic meters of dimensional space and cannot store living objects. Introduction, I will give you a ring. No, I can't accept it, my husband doesn't agree. Golden Orchid Scroll of Loyalty. Level 1. Quality, blue, fine. Attributes, 2 survivors become brothers, sisters, with different surnames, and the shelter merges into one. Introduction, I don't want to be born in the same year, the same month and the same day, but I want to die in the same year, the same month and the same day. I will do it, you can do whatever you want. Holy shit, there are so many European emperors. Worship the boss. I have never found a bronze treasure chest until now. Boss, do you need a loser? 8, hello everyone, I am the former senior official of HB province. In view of everyone's difficulty in surviving, I specially contacted the former government staff and comrades of the armed police. It is planned to establish a survival alliance, named Xia Alliance, to exchange resources within the alliance, exchange what is needed, and provide survival guarantee for the people. Currently recruiting survivors who have special items, crafting scrolls, and a large amount of resources. We have a clear division of labor, and interested parties are welcome to chat privately. I hope everyone can live well. This is like a starting gun, and there are many similar recruitment speeches below, such as the Eagle League, the Free Society, the Brotherhood, the Skull and Bones Society, etc. Does the former high-ranking government official take the lead and plan to establish a survival alliance? Chen Xi's reaction to this was very dull. He has become accustomed to living alone. Even if he travels through the market world, he feels that he can survive well. And he doesn't want to be led by others. As a free-spirited otaku, it is impossible to work part-time, even in this life. Chapter 9 The Blood Fiend Alliance debuts. Chen Xiai browsed the world channel for a while and found that the information slowly turned into recruitment information from various survivor alliances. It was overwhelming and there was no practical information at all. When the novice protection ends, people are panicked, and all kinds of monsters appear. Chen Xiai switched to the regional channel, only to find that the channel was full of gunpowder. The reason is that not only the world channel, but also the regional channel where he is located has a survival alliance established. The name is the Blood Fiend Alliance, and its leader is a scarred man named Zhang Biao. He recruited people aggressively in the regional channel, promising that as long as he obeyed the command, he would ensure that all members would have no worries about food, drink and safety. So Xiaohua, the superpower, couldn't stand it anymore. Xiaohua 1, a group of bastards. This Zhang Biao is the villain. How can a gangster fulfill his promise? Join if you are not afraid of death. Zhang Biao 4, young man, don't slander people. If you have the guts, you can guarantee everyone's survival resources. If you can't do it, you'll attack others. Your intentions are sinister. That's right, Boss Zhang is worried about everyone and dedicated to everyone. Yes, this Xiaohua has superpowers, and he doesn't help the weak. He is selfish and a villain. As Zhang Biao spoke, many people below responded. Suddenly Xiaohua seemed to be pointed out by thousands of people. In a wooden house in the woods in an unknown place. A muscular man with a sinewy face was lying lazily on the big solid wood bed. There was a scar on the corner of his mouth that extended to the bottom of his ears. His muscles were bulging and full of strength. This was Zhang Biao. TCH, a little brat with a hairless mouth wants to ruin my good deeds. You can't handle it even if you do it twice. Zhang Biao was playing with a round stone, but he didn't take Xiaohua seriously. Over the years, he has seen too many idiots like Xiaohua, who talk about justice and morality, are unrealistic, and don't know what ordinary people need. Public opinion can be packaged and used, don't you think? Zhang Biao turned to look under the bed. There was actually someone kneeling there. Yes, how can that kid compare with you, Boss Zhang? We can deal with him without you taking action. The kneeling man was thin and wearing a pair of gold-rimmed glasses with broken mirrors. He responded quickly when he heard the question. Ha, you are so smart and clever, why didn't you complete the task today? Zhang Biao laughed, seeing the panic of the people on the ground, and said, it's the first time, forget it, remember to make up for the gap tomorrow. After a pause, his smile faded and he said seriously, don't blame me for being strict, boss. After all, our shelter is poor and cannot afford to support idle people. The man with glasses shook even more as if he was being targeted by a terrifying beast. I know, boss, I promise to finish it tomorrow, thank you, boss, thank you, boss. The man with glasses hurriedly agreed. Go to work. Zhang Biao stood up, ignored the man with glasses, and walked straight to the window. I saw several people sitting around the fire outside the window. There were actually more than 2 people in this shelter. The accusations against Xiaohua continued on the regional channel, during which several people advised everyone to calm down. Those people included Lu Yang and Lu Aigua, whom Chen Xi had seen before, but they spoke softly and were quickly submerged in the news that flooded the screen. Xiaohua himself was sitting blankly at the wooden table. There was a flash of fire in the palm of his hand, coming from a fireball that expanded and contracted from time to time. Under the light of the fire, his face turned green and white. He was only about 20 years old. He gritted his teeth and said, are they all SB? Is Zhang Biao a good person? Facing the overwhelming insults in the chat channel, Xiaohua couldn't bear it and threw the fireball out of the window. Accompanied by the roaring explosion, he shouted, Zhang Biao, don't let me see you, I promise to beat you to death. The scolding war on the regional channel ended with Xiaohua saying, we'll see. After he exited the chat channel and stopped replying, the Blood Evil Alliance took the limelight and took advantage of its fame to recruit people. The Blood Fiend Alliance is recruiting new members. Anyone can come. Joining the alliance will provide you with the ultimate treasure of self-defense. I prove that as long as you join, Boss Zhang Biao will give you self-defense treasures. Humans are social animals and need unity. Brothers and sisters are waiting for you. Chen Xi went through the whole scolding battle, but he didn't think the pie promised by Zhang Biao was real. How can there be a saint in the world? There must be a conspiracy, just like a pyramid scheme, where brothers and sisters eat and sleep together, but in the end they are not just trying to make money. Even if there is a problem, he will not expose it directly like Xiaohua. These people who join the Blood Evil Alliance and place their hopes on others cannot be awakened. The Holy Mother is in trouble. I just don't know how Zhang Biao can fulfill his promise. How can he control those who join the Blood Evil Alliance from a distance? And what is that self-defense treasure? This is not just him, many sober people also have doubts. No one wants to get into trouble with Zhang Biao until they understand it. Seeing that the regional channels were gradually becoming uniform, Chen Xi simply closed the panel and walked into the workroom. The buckler production is completed. small buckler. Level, level 0. Quality, white. Introduction, wooden arm shield, 90 centimeters in diameter, holding a shield in one hand and a sword in the other. You are the most beautiful sword and shield soldier. Sword and shield soldier. Chen Xiai picked up the small round shield and put it on his left arm, and took out the Tang Hengdao in his right hand, still showing signs of momentum. I still need a piece of armor. Go to the trading channel to see if I can buy it. Despite saying this, Chen Xiai felt that there was little hope as everyone was short of armor. After a little searching, he found a peer. Selling, torch *1 for wood *8. Tisk, TSK, I'm not the only one with good luck. However, the quantity sold by this person was not large, and they were sold out as soon as they were put on the shelves. Obviously, they were also short of raw materials. It is normal for the price of torches to increase. The novice period ends in the early morning, and multiple lighting tools will make you feel more at ease at night. The price of iron blocks, a basic material, has gone up. It seems that some survivors are planning to upgrade the level 2 shelter, which has pushed up the price of iron. After checking the prices, Chen Xiai put the 180 torches on the shelves without hesitation. Items for sale, torch *1. Exchange items, wood *8 or stone *6 or iron *1. Remarks, send a private message for other items and I will reply when I see it. I will buy glass at the same time and chat about the price privately. Chen Xiai had no choice. He searched on the trading channel and found no one selling glass. After thinking about it, he sent a private message to Lu Xiaoya, "Beauty, how much cotton did you collect today? Do you want to trade?" Lu Xiaoya was also on Taobao in the trading channel and replied in seconds, 120 units of cotton. Another survivor just contacted me. I didn't sell it. Chen Xi's eyes flashed and he replied, "Aren't other people's prices high?" Lu Xiaoya 11, "No, I promised you and I can't break my promise. And I want to find a long-term ally. Yesterday I saw that your torch is limited to one purchase per person. I feel that you have a good heart." She misunderstood and thought the purchase limit was to help more people. Chen Xiai felt that the beautiful woman opposite him whom he had never met before was pretty good. She spoke and acted very straightforwardly. The most important thing was that she could find her bright spots. Then with a smile on his face, he replied, "No problem, I also want to find a long-term partner so that our resources can complement each other." He continued, "Let's do this, let's determine the daily transaction price based on the basic material prices of the day. Today I buy 1 unit of cotton at the price of 3 units of wood or 2 units of stone, and I want all 120 units. Chen Xiai thought carefully before bidding. Although the cost is relatively high, the torch business can still last for a few days. It requires a stable source of raw materials and long-term profit sharing. Moreover, he planned to take time to practice Xuanqiu knife later, which would only shorten the time for collecting plant fibers, so suppliers became very important. Lu Xiaoya could not be more satisfied with Chen Xi's quotation, which was much higher than she had expected. She did have the intention to test before. Not only was she a cotton purchaser, but she also wanted to find a long-term ally. Reply, "No problem, then let me take advantage. I need 120 units of wood and 160 units of stone. I will send the order to you." Ding! Received an order. Items for sale, cotton *120. Exchange items, wood *120, stone *160. Confirm transaction. Chen Xiai looked at it and found out that there was no problem, so he directly agreed to the transaction. Get cotton *120. After completing the transaction, Chen Xiai thought for a while and sent a transaction application to Lu Xiaoya. Items for sale, small buckler *1. Exchange item, wood *1. Note, I'll give you a shield to defend yourself, and consider it my investment. When he was at Blue Star, Chen Xiai held a large amount of inheritance, and he also relied on giving away money to others in exchange for their help to save most of the inheritance. At that time, he knew that a relationship purely based on emotion was unreliable, and proper investment was necessary. Don't take money too seriously. People are the key. Chen Xiai must maintain this raw material supplier well. With a small investment, Lu Xiaoya's survival chances can be improved and he can also gain gratitude and recognition. As for seeing the wrong person, he doesn't care. It doesn't cost much to see someone clearly with a buckler. Lu Xiaoya was dressed in sportswear with a complicated expression on her face. Growing up, no one had ever cared about her so much. Her parents thought she was a loser and gave all their love to her younger brother. Sometimes she doubted whether she was her biological child. After graduating from college, she was constantly harassed and gossiped about because of her appearance and body shape. She had no true friends and was only the target of each other. Chen Xi's concern made her feel a hint of gentleness and kindness. Agreeing to the deal, he said, "I won't say any more polite words, thank you." This partner was chosen correctly, Lu Xiaoya chuckled. Chapter 10 Small Chat Group. After completing the transaction, Chen Xiai didn't think much about it and just took a casual step. No matter what the result was, it wasn't worth investing much energy. He still had a lot of things to do. Ding, the system beeps. Chen Xiai opened the panel and saw that someone from the regional channel was following him. 997, there are many people in our district who don't have torches, we are all from the same region, and we should help each other and overcome difficulties together. Let's do this. I'll give you 50 torch materials first. You trade the torches in the shop to me first, and I'll supply you with the rest of the materials tomorrow. The sender of the message was Zhang Biao from the Blood Evil Alliance. Many survivors spoke next. Boss Zhang is right. Many people in our area have not yet. The protection period is over. Everyone can defend themselves with one. We will be grateful to you at ISI 997. Yes, I also provide some materials, I can't just let Boss Zhang spend money. Anyone who needs a torch should give the materials to Boss Zhang and let him prepare them uniformly. Chen Xiai, you just used the tool table to make it, and it didn't take much trouble. It can be regarded as a contribution to everyone. Count me in, I've already given the materials to Boss Zhang. Support Leader Zhang. Come out and say a word at C997. Seeing this, Chen Xiai let out a sigh of relief and became happy. This is to kidnap me morally, MD. According to what they want, I will not only waste time but also have to provide materials. Are you going to have S*X for nothing? At this time, Zhang Biao sent another message, thank you for your trust. Chen Xiai, we won't let your work go in vain. Let's do this. If you join the Blood Evil Alliance, I will give you the position of deputy leader and make torches to reward your contributions within the alliance. Chen Xiai, you have made a lot of money. You have reached the sky in one step. We have more than 500 people in the Blood Evil Alliance. Boss Zhang, you don't have to be like this. I think brother Chen Xiai is not that superficial and won't repay a favor. That's right. People from the Blood Evil Alliance were swiping the screen, but there were also other survivors making noises. After all, they get the torch for nothing if they succeed, and they lose nothing if they fail. Force me? A sneer appeared at the corner of Chen Xi's mouth. He now felt what Xiaohua felt. These people were not stupid, but bad. His original intention was not to have anything to do with these people. The Blood Fiend Alliance controls public opinion, and with the meddling making noise, no one in the regional channel cares about his wishes at this time, and there is no room for his voice to exist. But there are more and more survivors in IT. Too many for him to ignore. Chen Xiai replied, if you want a torch, go to the trading channel and buy it yourself. I don't have the time or interest to play house with you. Blood Fiend Alliance, what kind of low-level organization is worthy of recruiting me? I would like to advise everyone that people should rely on themselves, and sooner or later they will suffer the consequences of their behavior. After saying that, he didn't read the reply and turned off the regional channel directly. There must be nothing good to say later. Ding, system message reminder. Chen Xiai frowned and said it was endless. When I opened the panel, there was a private message. Wang Zishuan 38, hello, brother Chen, we are from the same area, Xiaohua and I are classmates. Chen Si's heart moved and he asked, "What's the matter?" Wang Zixuan 38, Brother Chen, the regional channel is in a state of complete chaos. The Blood Evil Alliance completely controls the right to speak, and it is basically useless. Xiaohua and I have set up a small chat group. We usually exchange some resources and do not involve organizations. Do you want to join? The avatar of Wang Zixuan is that of a handsome young man in his 20s. Chen Ci did not agree directly, but asked, "Small chat group? How was it established and who is involved?" Wang Zixuan 38, I found the props when I went out to search for supplies today. Apart from me and Xiaohua, there are 3 other people. They are all reliable people and they all have their own specialties. Attached is a property introduction. Small chat group. Properties: create a new small group in the chat channel. Introduction: you can set up a small chat group to bring together like-minded friends, with a maximum number of 10 people. Okay, you can pull me. Chen Ci had no reason to refuse, so he quit if it didn't work out. And he also hopes to find a few survivors with whom he can exchange resources. Wang Zixuan 38, welcome Brother Chen to the group. Xiaohua 1, is there another newcomer? Lu Aigua 8, welcome Chen Ci. Lu Yang 2, welcome, boss, are you a superpower? Chen Ci frowned. Is it so private at the beginning? What's the difference between sending cool photos in a group? Wang Zixuan 38, Brother Chen, don't mind. Lu Yang is the only one in this group who hasn't woken up. If someone comes, he will ask once. Chen Ci frowned and replied, no, I don't have any powers. The most taboo thing about making friends is shallow talk, and even if he is an acquaintance, he doesn't want to expose his synthetic talent. The only talent involved is very important. Lu Yang 2, Brother Chen, you are a true partner. From now on, we will be half-brothers. This is indeed a second-rate person. Chen Ci is speechless. Wang Zixuan 38, Brother Chen, let me introduce you to other people. Xiaohua, Brother Chen, you should have seen the supernatural fireball technique, which is very powerful in combat. There are no specialties around the territory. I will hunt and trade meat in the future. Brother Lu Yang, there is an open-pit iron mine near his territory. If you need iron, you can come to him. Uncle Lu Aigua is a veteran. His superpower is a burst of power and he has coal and stone resources. Finally, there is Sister Song Yerui, a doctor, whose superpower is called Natural Heart. Sister Song herself has not studied the use of the superpower. She has the blueprint of the vine armor and can trade the vine armor. Iron, coal, meat, stones, Rot 10 armor. Chen Ci was very satisfied with the resources of the survival group. Wang Zixuan continued, my ability is Eagle Eye, which is convenient for searching for supplies in the wild. Brother Chen, please introduce yourself. Chen Ci avoided the important point and said lightly, there is a river near me, with enough water resources, and 2 blueprints for making torches and small bucklers. With that said, he sent an introduction to the properties of the small buckler to the group. Lu Yang, brother, I want to change. I'm going to lose all my money to ask for it. What do you want? Wang Zixuan, Brother Chen, our group advocates helping each other. If there are good things, we can trade them internally first. It doesn't need to be a big discount, just the market price. Lu Aigua, yes, Chen Ci, you can just pay the market price. If we have something, we will give it to you at the market price. Even if there is good stuff, we will digest it internally first, and then put the excess on the shelves for trading. Chen Ci originally planned to exchange a small buckler for 5 iron blocks or 50 pieces of wood in the market, but said, normally, I sell 5 iron blocks. Lu Yang, just trade me 4, and I will be a member of the group and give out red envelopes. Lu Yang 2, thank you, Brother Chen. Transaction completed. Then Lu Aigua used 5 units of coal, Wang Zixuan and Xiaohua each used 4 units of iron, and Song Yerui used Rot 10 armor to exchange for a small buckler each. Before Chen Ci joined the group, they had already traded the day's harvest. The protection period is over and we are very busy today. After getting familiar with the transaction, we each went offline without chatting. Chen Xiai also had a lot to do. He went to the tool table first and issued the torch production task. Production torch *120. Open the trading channel again and check the sales status of torches. Torch -1, wood +8. Torch -1, stone +6. As soon as I opened the trading channel, many successful messages popped up. The torches on the shelves have been sold out, and there are still many requests for purchase. Boss, can you let me know before it goes on sale next time? I really want to buy it. Boss, as long as you give me a torch, I will recognize you as the boss and I will listen to you from now on. Hey, brother, do you think I look good? Attached picture.jpg. Chen Xiai studied the pictures with a nonchalant expression, and then responded in unison, adding that torches would be put on the shelves later. In addition to purchase information, there is also recruitment information for the Survivor League. The content was nothing more than righteous oppression or sugar-coated temptation, but he ignored it. Chen Xiai will cash out the proceeds. Harvest wood *800, stone *480. There are no iron blocks and glass, and the price of iron is still rising, so no one will exchange glass for torches. He now has 953 units of wood and 705 units of stone. Adding in the 120 torches that will be put on the shelves later, the basic supplies will soon exceed 1,000. Chen Xiai plans to wait until the production of torches is completed and then produce a batch of small bucklers to trade iron or glass. Looking at the sales list page by page, the variety of products has indeed become richer today. Iwu small table lamp. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, a small desk lamp for home use. With it, my mother no longer has to worry about me not having time to do my homework. It lasts 8/12 hours. Transaction items, self-defense supplies, please don't bother with anything else. Does your lamp only last 8 hours? How do you charge it after it's finished? After Chen Xi's private chat, the seller did not reply immediately, probably because he did not watch the transaction channel. He continued looking at other items. There are also people selling iron knives. I don't know if it's the blueprints or the survivors' superpowers. They must be selling the weapons only if they have a surplus. Soon, he saw something good again. Personal water purifier drawing. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, a must-have for survival in the wild. If you don't want to have diarrhea, you must either boil the water or use a water purifier. Trading items, other blueprints or weapons, the one with the highest price gets it. Not only did Chen Xiai see it, there were also many survivors leaving messages below. Someone actually sells blueprints. This is my first time seeing what the blueprints look like. Begging for the source of the blueprint, I am willing to exchange it for a piece of wood. It must have been found in the treasure chest. Do you even need to ask? Water purifiers are useless, right? There is no shortage of water now. There is water everywhere in the rivers and lakes outside. You idiot upstairs, can you drink the river water directly? Hello, I'm Richard from the US League. I can give you a long knife in exchange for the blueprint. 10 units of food, 20 units of iron, and 2 units of glass. Trading blueprint. 15 units of food, 5 torches, a set of bows and arrows, and Xia League core position trading drawings. A large number of buyers are quoting, and the drawings are the previous technology. Each drawing is a chicken that lays golden eggs, especially for these alliances. Chen Xiai is very greedy for the good things in the quotation, especially glass. He also tried to make an offer, but it probably didn't work. It was impossible for him to trade Jue Fengbao and Tang Hengdao, but the small round shield was not enough. He also noticed that the Survivor League was relying on a lot of resources to search for high-quality products. A single survivor cannot fight against it. This is also because there are too few good things on the market, and survivors are not stupid. Even if there are many things that are not used now, they can be used in the future. Unless necessary, blueprints and extraordinary weapons will not be used at all. I only change self-defense weapons, so there's no need to talk about bargaining. The lamp seller replied. I have a shield in exchange for your lamp. Chen Xiai replied. 1 shield is not enough, you add 10 irons. Chen Xiai shook his head and retorted, your desk lamp can only be used for 8 hours, and it will be useless after that. My shield can be used all the time. With the shield, if you are making a wooden spear, it can handle normal dangers. You should make up the difference for me. There are weapons on the tool table, and currently there are only 2 types, wooden spears and stone knives. After some haggling, the seller said helplessly, if the price of the small buckler is okay, then the deal will be made. If not, forget it. Deal. Chen Xiai said simply. Getiwu small table lamp *1. Chen Xiai immediately took out the desk lamp and turned it on. White light illuminates the wooden house, which is much better than torch light. The most important thing is that the desk lamp is free of charge, and it has a solar power bank. The small desk lamp is not a disposable item for him. Chapter 11 Synthesis again. Chen Xiai quickly walked to the tool table, traded 25 torches to Wang Zixuan and the others, received 25 units of iron blocks, and put the remaining 95 units into the inventory and put them on the trading channel. Items for sale, torches, inventory 95. Trading items, iron block *1. Remarks, there is a private message about glass, asking to buy glass. I have 47 units of iron blocks in hand, all of which are arranged to produce small bucklers. After arranging the production, Chen Xiai suddenly became free, buy some more materials and try the synthesis furnace. As for what synthesis to use, I had an idea when I browsed the trading channel just now. Soon, 5 snake skins were obtained, consuming 5 units of stone. It's not realistic to pick up mistakes in the trading channel, so you should rely on yourself. There are many smart people among the survivors, and there are various survival alliances. If you don't spend a lot of time, it won't be his turn if there is a loophole. It is better to study the synthesis talent carefully. Summons a synthesis furnace. The main material is a small buckler, and the auxiliary material is snakeskin. Plus what I had before, there are exactly 6. The synthesis success rate is 81%, and the mutation rate is 77%. The mutation rate is so high this time. Could it be that different materials could lead to high mutation? Taking note of this conjecture, he silently activated the synthesis furnace. The next second, a large amount of mental power was extracted by the synthesis furnace. Chen Xiai only felt dizzy and his body even more exhausted. Orange light flashed on the synthesis furnace, and the whole process lasted for nearly a quarter of an hour. Bang, a shield fell on the table. Chen Xiai looked intently. Snakeskin shield. Level, first level. Quality, rare. Attributes, increases blocking success rate by 60%, wearer's constitution +1. Introduction, where did you find the snake skin? It's so smooth and strong. Rare quality? 2 attributes? Chen Xiai was overjoyed. System, how are the qualities divided? The quality of each level of items is divided into ordinary, white, fine, blue, rare, orange, perfect, red, mythical, gold. Normal has no additional attributes, fine has 1, rare has 2, perfect has 3, and myth has no limit. This time it was really a strong kiss from the goddess of luck. I actually synthesized an orange outfit. This snakeskin shield can be used to the first level. The synthesis furnace is simply an artifact. The front of the snakeskin shield is leather, and the snake pattern reveals a strange beauty, which is very delicate. Chen Xiai wears a snakeskin shield, which has a very obvious effect of increasing his physical fitness. The sword in his hand is much lighter. The success of the snakeskin shield greatly increased his confidence, and he spent a lot of wood to purchase several useless blue items from the trading channel and began to synthesize them. 3-piece wedding bed set. Level 0. Quality, boutique. Attribute, improve sleep quality by 30%. Introduction, will you marry me, poor or poor? The main material is a set of pocket toys for playing house, and the synthesis furnace directly enlarges them into real things. Can the synthesis furnace make fake things become real? Chen Ci thought there would be a set of high-quality toys, so he threw the 3-piece set on the bed with a smile. Synthesize it again. Take out the queen bee body harvested during the day and several items you just bought, and put them into the synthesis furnace. Main materials: beehive, white; auxiliary materials: queen bee, blue; ants, blue, *6; banyan tree seeds, blue, *1; butterfly corpse, blue, *1. The synthesis success rate is 80% and the mutation rate is 60%. Do you want to continue? Confirm synthesis. As Chen Ci was confirmed, a large amount of spiritual power was extracted, which was no worse than a snakeskin shield. My brain was extremely drowsy, and a tingling sensation and sleepiness came at the same time. Chen Xiqiang braced himself and summoned the panel. With only a little mental power left, this synthesis consumes 2 points of mental power at one time. The synthesis furnace has orange light. If you guessed it correctly, it is a rare grade. Afterwards, he kept dozing off like he was in school, and could only pinch himself to stay awake. I want to see the finished product. It took an hour of pain before the equipment was released. Gu King Beehive. Level 2. Quality, rare. Attributes: lures bees, has great attraction to bee colonies, queen bee level +1. Introduction: this is a swarm coliseum. Thousands of bees can turn on the voodoo-raising mode. The winner is the queen bee. After the queen bee dies, the voodoo-raising mode must be restarted. Big Bang. The tired brain was sober for a few minutes under this stimulation. This is the second-level orange equipment. It is a strategic level equipment. It can control the swarm to fight. If I have a large number of poisonous bees, hee. Chen Ci couldn't help but think about it. If there was a hive of bees in the future, I don't dare to think about it. I don't dare to think about it. Grin put the beehive in your inventory. Then he stood up and put all the small bucklers on the tool table. Sale items: small buckler *47, each exchange item, iron block *6 or glass *1, note, 1 piece per person. After finishing putting it on the shelves, Chen Ci couldn't hold it any longer. He staggered to the bed and plunged into the quilt. Don't be so reckless next time you synthesize. This is my last thought before going to sleep. Bang bang bang. Stab. There was a loud noise from the wooden door. Chen Ci woke up from a deep sleep, resisted the tingling sensation in his brain and got up to check the source of the sound. After taking a few deep breaths, my mind became clear. Before going to bed, he did not take off his rattan armor, took out the Tang Hengdao, tied on the snakeskin shield, and tiptoed to the door. It was still dark outside at this time, with only a faint light. Through the window, he saw a leopard, a 2-meter-long leopard. It was the leopard that was B************** G and scratching the door. The next second, the leopard turned around and looked at it as if it was sensing something. One person and one leopard face each other. Hungry leopard. Level 0. Level, elite. Attribute, beast roar. Introduction: it was imprisoned by a mysterious force for 3 days and was hungry. After discovering you, it made a choice. What about you? Roar. Accompanied by a loud beast roar, Chen Ci suddenly froze on the spot. The cheetah used its hind legs hard and jumped up suddenly to fly toward him. Seeing that the bloody mouth was about to crush Chen Ci's head, he suddenly woke up. Subconsciously, he kicked his foot on the wooden wall and leaned back. He fell straight down with a loud bang. Chen Ci ignored the pain in his back, rolled over and stood up with force, looking intently. The window was broken, but the cheetah did not enter the room. Pooh! Chen Ci spat out a mouthful of blood. He had just bitten his tongue when he was frightened. Fortunately, he had this bite, otherwise he would be the headless horseman from now on. This beast reacts so quickly. He was discovered with just one glance. Chen Ci muttered. He was talking to relieve the feeling of dying, and his heart was still beating violently. There was silence outside the door, but Chen Xiai knew that the leopard must not have left yet. It was targeting him. It was very cunning and could resist its hunger and not jump into the house through the window. The hall of the wooden house is full of supplies. If the leopard comes in, the dexterity will be greatly reduced. The two sides faced each other in silence. No, I have to let it in. It has too many advantages outside. Chen Xiai regained his composure and started thinking. He took out the snake venom and applied it on the knife, then strode forward to the door. Put the iron block at the door into the inventory, suddenly open the door, and then quickly retreat. I saw the cheetah slowly pacing and revealing its figure, standing at the door ready to go. Come on! Chen Xiai shouted. He lowered his body, covered his chest with a snakeskin shield, and held Tang Hengdao tightly to provoke. After a while, he slowly approached the cheetah, and when he was 2 meters away, he suddenly walked forward quickly with a knife. The cheetah was stimulated and took half a step back, then used its hind legs to leap forward. Chen Xiai was well prepared. He stood still with a bow and used a snakeskin shield to block the flying claws. Bang! Claws and shields collided with a loud sound. Chen Xiai was knocked backwards by the huge force. He didn't panic, and took advantage of the situation and flicked the Tang Hengdao in his hand. Xuanqiu sword technique. Swish twice. Tang Hengdao quickly made an incision on the cheetah's back, and blood flowed from the wound. The cheetah roared and continued to swing its claws as if it had no feeling on its back. Bang bang bang. Stagger several times in a row. Chen Xiai used his snakeskin shield to block and used the Xuanqiu sword technique until they were separated. The cheetah already had 7 wounds on its body. There were also 2 claw marks on Chen Xi's body that cut through the skin through the vine armor. He backed away slowly, regaining distance from the cheetah. I have superior equipment and can win. Chapter 12 Big Harvest from the Silver Treasure Chest. Pulling away, Chen Xiai and cheetah stopped moving and faced each other. He was waiting for the snake venom to take effect in the leopard's body. Leopards find prey with teeth that are not easy to eat and cannot leave. After a while, Chen Xiai keenly noticed that the leopard's movements were slightly deformed. I was so happy that I waited patiently for a while until I saw the leopard shaking. He stopped continuing and quickly used his sword skills to bully the enemy. As expected, leopard's ability to adapt was greatly reduced. Chen Xi's sword skills became smoother and smoother as he used them, and he cut off most of the leopard's head in just a few moves. The battle is over, the mind is relaxed, and the body is feeling exhausted. He waved his hand and used his gathering skills on the leopard. The leopard disappeared and the house was in a mess. Harvest hide, 0 blue, *1, fangs, 0 blue, *1, meat, 0 white, *5. Congratulations to survivor Chen Xiai for passing the first test and receiving a perfect evaluation. Obtain silver treasure chest *1. A white light flashed in front of him, and a silver box appeared. Chen Xiai put the treasure box aside and opened the chat channel. What the hell is going on? This mental overdraft is really delaying things. We need to be wiser. I ignored the private messages from 99+ and checked the system prompts instead. Attention survivors, the novice protection period has officially ended. Release seals on animals and plants, release seals on weather, and release seals on mutated organisms. There is a fixed test at the end of each month. The test item is Beast Attack, with a countdown of 27 days. Random tests will appear during survival. Attention survivors, the acid rain test has been detected and the countdown is 7 days. After reading it with a solemn expression, Chen Xiai thought for a long time before opening the newly added group. Xiaohua 1, in ancient times, there was Wu Song who killed tigers, but now there is Xiaohua who kills tigers. Taking a photo with the tiger corpse grinning.jpg. This one is passionate again. Lu Yong 2, damn it. He is indeed the protagonist, his strength is off the charts. Lu Yong 2, why is my test a black back? Wang Zixuan 38, I am a hyena, what is your test, Uncle Lu? Lu Igua 8, I am a python. This test may be based on force value. Song Yerui 5, it's very possible that I met a wolf, but it was very weak and almost scared me to death. This female netizen was not active before, but she is very active now. Apparently her fear and excitement have greatly increased her desire to speak. Lu Yong 2, my force value is not as good as Sister Rui. Dabi. Hey, where is my brother Chen? Chen Ci 997, I just finished, a leopard. Lu Igua 8, brother Chen's strength is extraordinary. Our group has successfully passed the test, which is worthy of celebration. Lu Yong 2, look, the number of people on the World Channel has dropped sharply. Compared with the small groups who are happy and comfortable, the World Channel and regional channels are full of wailing. Calls for help and help keep flooding the screen. Many people passed the test but were seriously injured. Whoever has the medicine for the injury, please help me and I will repay you. Help, I'll give you supplies in exchange. I'm in urgent need of medicine. I finally escaped the apocalypse, but I am going to die in this world again. I am not willing to do it. What are you yelling about? I'm missing an arm. Did I scream? It's no big deal. See you in 18 years. If you describe drug prices, it is a huge positive line. Injury medicines are constantly being put on the shelves in the trading channel, but they are basically instantly killed. The supply was far less than the demand. It had only been 3 days, so how could the survivors have much medicine in their hands? It's called a test, but it's actually an elimination, a cruel elimination. Those with poor physical fitness or unwilling to accept reality will be eliminated. Medicines are hard to find and profit comes first. The injured survivors took out the treasures from the bottom of the box one after another, just in exchange for the medicine. Make blueprints, attribute equipment, and top-quality materials. Chen Ci was also searching for treasure in the market and quickly found a drawing. Items for sale, backpack blueprints, exchange items, wound medicine. Check the drawing properties, it is a practical drawing. Chen Ci 997, I have a golden sore medicine. What kind of injury do you have? This medicine is for external injuries, especially lacerations. Song Yuan 6, it's just a trauma, scratched by a claw. The seller responded quickly and obviously had been waiting. Chen Ci 997, okay, can you check the attributes? If you can, just trade. Chen Ci didn't bargain anymore. The value of the wound medicine was definitely not as high as the drawing. This was a special situation. The Survivor League is also accumulating wealth, but changes will occur later. After checking the introduction of the golden sore medicine, the seller immediately sent a transaction application. He was also afraid of long nights and many dreams. Harvest backpack drawing *1. Backpack, normal. Materials required, hide *1, rope *2. I have the animal skin, but I lack the rope. Very satisfied with this harvest. It can not only save a life, but also get the blueprint. It is a win-win situation to be happy twice. As for the injuries on his body, they were already scabbed with blood and were no serious problems. Without medicine, he stopped watching the trading channel. First go and extract the small buckler harvest. Harvest iron *240, glass *7. That's right. The shelter has all the materials needed to upgrade it. It will be upgraded at dawn. It was dark outside at this time, and there might be wild animals. He didn't want to risk going outside to upgrade the shelter, he couldn't afford to wait for several hours. When he was free, Chen Ci opened the regional channel, which reduced the number of people by nearly 300. There are still more than 700 people left in the entire area, and a quarter of the people have not survived the test. Don't take risks. If you can't pass the test, use the life-saving artifact given by Boss Zhang. Boss Zhang is a decent person, unlike those selfish people. The regional channel has basically become the chat channel of the Blood Evil Alliance. The few survivors who scolded the Blood Evil Alliance for lying and sucking human blood were soon drowned in the overwhelming response from the Blood Evil Alliance. What exactly is the life-saving artifact? Chen Ci wondered. However, there was very little information and could only be forgotten. Chen Xiai lowered his head. He still had something important to do, which was to open the treasure chest. A red light flashed and the silver treasure chest opened. Reach out and pick up the light ball on the right and crush it. Flour * 200 kg. Introduction. High-quality Chitai flour is of high quality, rich in nutrients, white and delicate in appearance, chewy and smooth in taste, and rich in wheat flavor. Flour? I can't say it's a surprise, but it's really real. Chen Xiai came to the market world and ate dry food every day. He wants to eat noodles, he wants to eat steamed buns. As a northerner, if I don't eat noodles or steamed buns for a few days, I feel as if I haven't eaten. Moreover, food is an absolute hard currency in the market world, and no one can have too much. At present, survivors do not have the ability to grow their own food. Food basically depends on gathering and collecting treasure boxes. There may be hunting in the future, but it will be very difficult to eat the exquisite food of the past. Thinking of noodles and steamed buns at this time, tears of longing flowed from the corner of Chen Xi's mouth. After putting away the flour, he picked up the light ball on the right again and opened it. Harvest Vajra Breathing Technique * 1. Vajra Breathing Method. Level 1. Quality, perfect. Attributes, healthy body, immune to all evil spirits, diamond body. Introduction. This is an introductory foundation building exercise for Buddhist disciples from another world, which can lay a solid foundation for future practice. The introduction of the exercise requires a basic physical fitness of 8 points or above. The additional attribute is physical fitness, and practice can permanently improve your physical fitness. The additional attribute is that it is invulnerable to all evil and has great resistance to charm and control skills. Additional attributes, diamond body, active skills, and an all-round protective shield is generated on the body after being used. Kung Fu. Chen Xiai shouted excitedly. This is definitely a stroke of luck. The diamond breathing method can permanently improve physical fitness, increase mental resistance, and even have a defensive skill. It can be called a life-saving skill. At this time, Chen Xiai still had lingering fears about the roar of the cheetah beast, but as long as he practiced successfully, he would not be worried if he encountered similar situations again. When he plays games, he likes to choose tanks, which have rough skin and thick flesh that can withstand beatings. A crispy guy who is not very good at extreme micromanagement, and believes in output only when he can stand firm. However, Chen Xi's current physique is only 6 points, and the snakeskin shield does not count as basic attributes, so he only needs 2 points to use the technique. It can only be stored in the inventory and temporarily stored in the bottom of the box. It would be nice to have a few extraordinary fruits. Chen Xiai couldn't help but make a wish. The last one. Pick up the ball of light, crush it and look at it. Obtain charcoal drawings. Charcoal. Level 0. Quality, boutique. Properties, lasting burning. Introduction, barbecue artifact, everyone likes barbecue, yes, everyone. Materials required, wood * 1. Charcoal? It doesn't seem to be of much use. Chen Xiai felt that this drawing was a bit useless. The weather was very hot, so there was no use for it. He couldn't really barbecue, so how could he be in the mood? Chen Xiai shook his head and added the drawings to the tool table. After counting the harvest, I felt tired. The overdrawn mental strength has not been fully recovered, and coupled with the fierce battle, I feel exhausted. Go back to sleep and get up early to upgrade the shelter. He took out the iron block again and blocked the wooden door. Tang Hengdao was placed by his side, and he lay down on the bed without taking off his rattan armor. Chapter 13 Secondary Shelter. It was just dawning, and the rising sunlight had not yet penetrated the wooden house, so it was still dark inside. Chen Xiai pushed open the bedroom door with sleepy eyes. A gust of wind blew by, and he shuddered, and his sleepiness receded. It's a bit cold, is it going to be autumn? It was late summer and early autumn when they arrived in the ruin world. During the novice protection period, the weather and climate were maintained in a comfortable area. The novice protection had just ended, and the wind this morning I felt a chill. It only takes 3 days to open a chat channel skillfully and develop a habit in as little as 3 days. He also developed the habit of getting up early to join the chat group. In the past few days in the ruins world, he had been eating and watching other survivors pour water. Even if he didn't make any new discoveries, he would still have new fun. But today was an accident. As soon as he opened the panel, he saw a familiar person. Was pinned to the top of the world channel. Chiang 388, hello everyone. After yesterday's test, many compatriots left us, but we should not be immersed in sadness, because there are other tests waiting for us. The following is a summary of my findings. First of all, after the novice protection period ended, the restrictions on wild beasts were lifted in the ruins world. There were no wild beasts around my shelter before. Before dawn, I thought the shelter was the center and explored a 1-kilometer radius and found many wild beasts. There are rabbits, squirrels, wild dogs, goats and other herbivores, as well as lions, tigers, black bears and other fierce beasts. Many of these animals should not live together, and the environment around me is not suitable for them to survive. I suspect that they come from the blue star like us. We will compete with them to generate new biological chains. Fortunately, we have a shelter. Once again reminding everyone to be careful when going out. Secondly, the system has released the climate control, and it is now autumn. According to current temperature estimates, the winter here is definitely not the winter in the south, or even the winter in the north of Blue Star China. Everyone must be prepared and store supplies in advance, especially warming supplies and food. Finally, and most importantly, there will be an acid rain test in 7 days. According to the difficulty estimate of this test, the difficulty of acid rain is definitely not low. We remind everyone to store water, food, and weapons in advance. Long-term acid rain will cause famine, and be wary of animals. I have a good news to share with you. The second-level shelter is made of stone and has heating facilities such as fireplaces. The third-level shelter should be better. Upgrading the shelter is the key to survival. I hope everyone can help each other and survive together. Teacher Chi is right. He is an expert in wilderness survival and has rich experience. Yes, I was planning to go pick up wood in the morning, but not far away I was chased back by a wild boar. I'm so touched. The boss is really helping us. That's very well said. I don't know what to do. Tisk, in the end it's better to upgrade the shelter. Everyone knows we have to upgrade. Upstairs, you are not facing me, otherwise I will teach you how to be a good person for your parents. It depends on what you can do. If you don't draw conclusions yourself, you'll be using other people's services for nothing, and you're not even trivial. The comments below were completely distorted, from sharing to personal criticism. However, some people were wondering how it was pinned to the top of the news on the World Channel. An enthusiastic person immediately posted a reminder below. World Speaker. Introduction: let your news be at the top of the World Channel for one day, and you will be today's headlines. When Chen Xiai saw this, he understood. He searched again and found no useful information. He also finished eating his dry food. It's time to upgrade the shelter. Level 2 Shelter. Upgrade materials: wood *200, stone *200, iron *10, glass *2. And his current inventory is wood *859, stone *700, iron block *335, glass *7. System: confirm the upgrade to level 2 shelter. The level 2 shelter upgrade is being confirmed. It is detected that there are sufficient materials for survivors. Please confirm whether to enhance the shelter facilities. Bedroom: comes with floor, double bed, and reserved power interface. Materials required: wood *50, iron *5. Living room: comes with a fireplace, solid wood tables and chairs, wooden floor, and reserved power interface. Materials required: wood *50, stone *50, iron *5. Kitchen: comes with iron kitchen utensils, stove, and reserved water and electricity connections. Materials required: stone *50, iron *5. Workshop: improve the quality of the tool table, and can make items of other materials and high-quality items. Materials required: 50 wood, 50 stone, 5 iron. Warehouse provides 2-dimensional shelves, each shelf can store 20 items. Materials required: wood 50, stone 50. Bathroom, additional shower equipment, additional roof stone water tank. Materials required: stone 50, glass 2. The above facilities can be retrofitted at will. The cost of retrofitting will increase after upgrading, so please choose carefully. Who did you learn this from? Chen Xiai was stunned as he looked at the prompts in front of him. These projects gave him the feeling of a developer selling houses. The ordinary upgrade is just a rough house. If you want to live well, you have to spend money to decorate it. Chen Xiai sighed while looking at it. He suddenly felt that the system had become more down to earth. Confirm all. Although some projects may not be urgently needed, he doesn't care anymore. He has 4 drawings and money, and since the system prompts to upgrade these facilities, they must have corresponding uses. This time, the shelter was as before. The entire shelter was surrounded by white light, and the materials on the ground continued to decrease. In about 10 minutes, a brand new stone house appeared in front of Chen Xiai. The stone house occupies an area of about 200 square meters, which is twice the size of the previous one. The whole building is made of blue stones. No trace of splicing can be seen from the outside, and it seems to be one whole body. There is a square water tank on the stone roof, which is also made of stone and is integrated with the entire stone house. The exposed windows were wrapped by a protective net made of iron pillars. Ordinary beasts would probably never be able to break the glass again. Walking into the stone house, the living room and bedrooms were paved with wooden floors. The living room was fully equipped with tables and chairs. His previous tables and stools had all been greatly changed and became suitable for the entire room. In the center of the living room, there was a fireplace covering an area of about 3 square meters. According to the prompt, there are pipes distributed inside the stone wall to send the heat generated by the fireplace to various rooms. The kitchen has a stove, an iron pot, and all kinds of tableware and kitchen utensils. He can finally eat hot food. The materials that were scattered in the house before have been automatically put on the shelves of the warehouse. Walk to the tool table, open the production panel, and find that in addition to daily necessities, the tool table also has 2 additional weapons, a wooden handle iron knife and a wooden handle iron spear. Iron knife with wooden handle, production materials, iron *2, wood *1. Iron spear with wooden handle, production materials, iron *1, wood *1. The system encourages survivors to develop and fight. It does not use survivors as entertainment tools, nor to watch survivors struggle on the edge of survival. Chen Xiai secretly thought about the intention of the system. If it was for entertainment, he would prefer to see it. They are struggling on the edge of life and death and will not provide such high-quality living conditions. Chen Xiai thought about it for a while and then gave up. There was too little information. Now he can only keep moving forward and try to survive. Look at the requirements for the 3rd level shelter. If you have enough materials, you can upgrade it together. Chen Xiai opened the shelter panel. Level 3 shelter, upgrade materials, wood *500, stone *500, iron *50, glass *20, defensive building *1, altar *1, resource building *1. Defensive buildings include fences, arrow towers, pet animals, protective covers, etc. Resource buildings include various minerals, farmland, salt fields, medicinal fields, etc. As for the altar, there is no hint. I have protective buildings. I opened the box before and harvested blueprints of fences and arrow towers. I still lack core altars and resource buildings. Chen Xiai looked at his supplies and searched the trading channel, but found no related items. After cleaning up, he did not immediately build fences and arrow towers. Although the resources were sufficient, these resources had to be set aside to make torches and small bucklers. We can only wait, and the defensive power of the fence may not be as good as the stone wall of the secondary shelter. Chen Xiai saw that the matter at the shelter had been basically sorted out, and then he remembered that there was a person whose message he had not yet responded to. In the evening, he received news from Lu Xiaoya. She was lucky. The beast that attacked was an injured beast. It was starved by the system for 3 days. She took care of the beast without much effort. Lu Xiaoya 11, Brother Chen, there are too many wild animals outside the shelter. It may be difficult to collect cotton today. Chen Xiai was not surprised when he saw it. The beasts had been starved for 3 days and it was very dangerous in the wild. It's okay. Just do what you can. I have upgraded to level 2 and can make iron knives and iron spears with wooden handles. You need what? I'll give you a deal. Lu Xiaoya was moved when she heard this. She didn't expect that Chen Xiai not only didn't blame her, but also wanted to prepare weapons for her. Brother Chen, thank you. I will send you any materials needed for production. I can't let you bear the materials, otherwise I won't be able to take them. She did not refuse, but just kept these in mind. Chen Xiai did not refuse. Being a good person does require a limit. If you go too far, it will create a burden. Harvest wood *5, iron *5. Along with the prompt, there was news from Lu Xiaoya, Brother Chen, my ability is suitable for long-range weapons. I plan to make 5 of them as spear throwers. Chen Xiai suddenly realized, and returned to the workshop. 5 wooden-handled iron spears were quickly made and traded to Lu Xiaoya. He also asked her to contact her at any time if she was in danger before closing the chat. After completing the transaction with Lu Xiaoya, Chen Xiai assigned another production task of 200 small bucklers. When he searched for upgrade materials just now, he found that many people were already selling wooden-handled iron knives and wooden-handled iron spears, and even torches. Few people are selling. It seems that after the test, many people have issued blueprints, and the profits of the torch can no longer be maintained. Chen Xiai thought quietly. He had already expected the profit from the torch to drop, but he didn't expect it to happen so quickly. However, the profit from the small buckler was still very high, so it would not affect his income for the time being. After arranging the automatic production of the tool table, Chen Xiai does not plan to go out today. There have been wild beasts rioting in the past 2 days, and it is more dangerous outside. It's just a good time to practice Xuanqiu sword technique, and strive to improve your proficiency to mastery level as soon as possible. After making a decision, he came to the open space in front of the door and began to practice sword skills. Chapter 14 Collecting Wasps. Chen Xiai concentrated on practicing the Xuanqiu sword technique all morning in front of the shelter, and his proficiency reached 88%. He had a better understanding of the Xuanqiu sword technique. During his practice, he encountered wild beasts near the shelter. It might be because the area was relatively remote and the vegetation was not lush, but he did see many animals going to the river to the east. Chen Xiai thought about hunting wild beasts that came to drink water, but the area was too open and the wild beasts were very alert. Chen Xi's long-range attack ability was not satisfactory. Although he had a good bow, he had never practiced archery, and he had no time to practice now. Just a Xuanqiu sword technique, I don't know when it will be perfected. It's time to go eat. Chen Xiai rubbed his stomach. After a morning of intense training, the dry food he had eaten in the morning had long been digested, and a feeling of hunger welled up in his heart. He returned to the shelter and first went to the kitchen to check his food inventory. 10 servings of dry food, 10 bottles of water, 10 wild fruits, 30 apples, 200 grams of honey, 1 roast duck, 5 leopard steaks and 200 kilograms of flour, not much. Chen Xiai looked at the food in front of him. There were many types of food, but the quantity was not large. It could be dealt with for a while, but it was not enough to survive the winter. I have to find a way to stock up on more food, especially meat. The current flour is enough for me for a while, but I need to eat more meat for cultivation, so as to ensure the rapid growth of my physique and not damage my body. Today's trading channel after Qi Yang's reminder food prices have started to rise. While Chen Xiai was thinking about it, he took out the roast duck and heated it. Originally, he planned to use the roast duck to trade for a blueprint or other high-quality materials. Unexpectedly, the survivors were not stupid. No one was willing to exchange even for the useless blueprint. As for the basis of the transaction, however, he has no shortage of materials, so he simply eats them by himself today, just to make up for the losses in cultivation. The taste of the reheated roast duck is not as memorable as before, but it is still much better than dry food. There is no comparison between the two. Not long after, Chen Xiai leaned on the back of the wooden chair and burped, picked his teeth with a wooden stick, and shook his head with a smile. The food intake has increased too much. How could I have eaten a roast duck before? This practice of swordsmanship, is it so expensive? Chen Xiai just felt like his stomach had digested the food as soon as he ate it, as if his whole body was thirsty for energy. But he didn't know that this was not because the Xuanqiu sword technique was powerful, but because the energy fruit he had eaten before had not been fully digested. It plays a role while practicing sword skills, otherwise he would not be able to practice so fast. The food problem has become imminent. I didn't plan to go out today. It seems I can only take the risk of going there in the afternoon. Chen Xiai also didn't expect that the morning's practice would consume so much. If he practiced again in the afternoon, that little leopard meat would be enough. It is almost enough, and tomorrow he will have no more meat. Having made up his mind, Chen Xiai didn't even take a break. He went to the tool room and put the 200 small bucklers he made in the morning on the shelves in his personal store. Items for sale: small buckler *1, exchange materials wood *20. Items for sale: small buckler *1, exchange materials iron *4. He divided the small buckler into 2 transactions of 100 pieces each. The stone materials are enough for the time being, and most of the raw materials for the drawings in his hand are wood and iron blocks, which require primitive accumulation of these 2 materials. After taking care of the trivial matters, Chen Xiai put the Gu King beehive in his inventory, closed the door, and set off westward along the foot of the mountain. This time he went out unlike the previous times where he could move at full speed. In the past few days, he was in a protective period and there were few wild beasts outside. Now Chen Xiai needs to pay attention to the surrounding environment while walking, and his traveling speed inevitably slows down. It took him half an hour to find a gentle slope from which he could enter the mountains behind. Looking up from the foot of the mountain, there is a forest on the hillside, with dense branches, green trees, and lush bushes under the trees. Chen Xiai hesitates on his face. After all, the woods represent danger to a certain extent. Sooner or later, we have to face it. We need to have the ability to obtain meat. It is too unstable to rely solely on acquisition. After thinking for a moment, Chen Xiai made up his mind, his face regained his composure, and his figure slowly disappeared into the forest. As Chen Xiai deepened, the vegetation became lush. The surrounding trees were mainly elms and poplars. The trees were tall and straight. The tall trees and lush branches and leaves blocked most of the sunlight. Sporadic light spots fell on the ground, and the light was dim. He had to spend more energy to be vigilant about his surroundings. The branches and dry grass formed a thick layer of humus on the ground. When you walked up, the footprints were deep. This forest was a little quiet, with few birdsong. The clicking sound made by Chen Xiai stepping on the branches was very clear. It's strange, there aren't many animals. Chen Xiai came in for a while and saw some birds and a few squirrels. Large animals were rare. But Chen Xiai didn't care. His main purpose for coming out today was not hunting, and he didn't encounter or fight. Having said that, Chen Xiai was very careful every step he took, for fear that a ferocious beast would suddenly pounce out from the darkness. Buzz buzz. Chen Xiai heard the sound of swarms flying in the distance, and his expression suddenly brightened. To the right. He turned around and rushed towards the sound, bypassing several big trees, and sure enough he saw a swarm of wasps moving in and out of a tree hole. Found it. Chen Xiai looked happy. His main purpose of coming out this time was to replenish the Gu King beehive with gladiators. The wasp near the tree hole has a yellow head, a black chest with downy hairs, a yellow and black abdomen, a cone-shaped abdomen, and 3 poisonous needles at the tail. This should be a horn bee. Chen Xiai carefully identified it. The horn bee is also called the three-eyed needle because there are 3 poisonous pincers on the abdomen of the horn bee. He slowly approached the hive and stopped about 2 meters away from the tree hole. The horned bees had a strong desire to attack and were easily attacked if they were too close. A counterattack would attract the hatred of the entire hive. Chen Xiai took out the Gu King beehive from the inventory and slowly placed it on the ground. He put the 200 grams of honey he had obtained before into the beehive as bait, then put his hand on the beehive, concentrated, activated the beehive characteristics, and increased by 60%. Swarm attraction. After activating the characteristic, Chen Xiai quickly retreated, took out the wind-chasing bow that he had never used before, and placed an arrow in his right hand. Upon closer inspection, the arrowhead was not a common metal, but a cotton ball. The cotton cloth had been soaked in peppermint essential oil. This was he prepared it before setting off. He took a deep breath, loosened the bowstring, and aimed the arrow at the tree hole. He shot out the moment he exhaled, and the arrow missed the tree perfectly and stuck on the grass behind the tree hole. A trace of embarrassment appeared on Chen Xi's delicate face. He originally wanted to E************ into the tree hole. Fortunately no one saw it, otherwise I would have been embarrassed. He smiled mockingly to himself. Chen Xiai knocked another arrow, adjusted the angle, and shot the arrow. This time, there was no accident. The arrow accurately shot into the tree hole, and the mint smell from the cotton cloth filled the tree hole. Not long after, a bee cloud roared out and buzzed around the tree hole. It seemed that it was quite smoked. Soon the wasps noticed the Gu King beehive not far away. The beehive was emitting bursts of orange light. The bees were gradually attracted to the beehive and submerged into the beehive one by one as if they had lost their minds. The allure of level 2 rare beehives was not at all like this. Level 0 ordinary wasps can resist it. 10 minutes later, Chen Xiai saw that no wasps flew out of the tree hole, and all the wasps from the outside were submerged in the King Gu beehive. He no longer hesitated, got up and came to the tree hole, took out the fine stone axe that had not been used for a long time, and almost cut down the big tree. The big tree was cut down, and the hive hidden in the tree hole was exposed. I saw the hive spread flat on the top of the tree hole, like a hat. No wasps flew out of the dense hive. Chen Xiai got closer and used Tang Hengdao to cut open the hive, and found the plump queen bee inside, his Gu Queen hive. It is the Gu breeding mode, which will produce a new queen bee, and this one is not needed. After dealing with the queen bee, Chen Xiai used his collection skills on the hive. Obtain honey *500G. When he finished collecting, Chen Xiai saw a wooden treasure box emerging from the tree hole. Can you drop a treasure box if you kill it? It seems that the system is deliberately encouraging combat hunting. Chen Xiai looked at the treasure box and nodded speculatively. Be casual and start the treasure chest. Obtained, dry food *10, hiking boots, normal, *1, bee breeding method *1. How to breed bees? Chen Xiai was a little surprised. He quickly picked up the book to check the properties, but was disappointed. This was just an ordinary reference book, not the skills book he thought. The recommended retail price was 9.9 yuan written on the back of the book. Throwing it into the inventory, Chen Xiai put on new hiking boots and threw away his worn-out sneakers before stepping forward to check the Gu King beehive. The beehive showed that there were more than 8,000 wasps inside, and the food-raising mode had automatically started. Queen bee screening, the entire process takes 24 hours. You can see the new queen bee tomorrow. I don't know what its attributes are. He smiled slightly, his eyes full of expectation. Chen Xiai picked up the beehive contained living things and could not be stored in the inventory for a long time, cast gather on the felled tree, harvested 6 units of wood, and continued walking up the mountainside. The goal was completed smoothly, and it was still early. He planned to continue searching. Chapter 15, Seizing Food from the Tiger's Mouth. Chen Xiai was carrying a beehive in one hand and a Tang Hengdao in the other. Without wearing a snakeskin shield, his physical constitution reached 6 points, which was already higher than the average adult. So although he did not often walk on mountain roads, he still did not I don't feel strenuous and have enough energy. A fat hare ran past not far ahead. After seeing Chen Xiai, he visibly paused. He was probably frightened by him and ran quickly to the left. Chen Xiai wanted to eat the spicy rabbit head, but he was powerless. He had something in both hands and had no time to draw the bow and shoot the arrow. Even if he had time to shoot the arrow, with his current skill in bow and arrow, the probability of hitting a moving hare was no higher than winning the lottery. Wanting to eat the rabbit's head, I followed the hare's jump, and suddenly caught sight of a bright color. I looked closer curiously, and saw that it was a patch of red wild mushrooms. The light red, brick red, and orange reds were particularly eye-catching in the green grass. This is a poisonous mushroom, right? I remember it was said on the internet that the brighter the mushroom, the more poisonous it is. Chen Xiai looked at the mushrooms here with hesitation, but he did not give up and released his detection skills. Russian mushroom, common, edible, nutritious, delicious, unique flavor, rare treasure. It's really edible. Chen Xiai had a look of surprise on his face, but he immediately put on a bright smile. This is the ruins world, not Blue Star. We cannot use our usual experience to look at this place. After reminding himself again, Chen Xiai put down the beehive, squatted down, and started to collect mushrooms. He was afraid that he would collect the wrong mushrooms, so he would check each one before starting, so be careful and sail the boat for thousands of years. Harvest, red mushroom *56. After collecting the red mushrooms, Chen Xiai, who was in a good mood, searched upward for another half an hour, but found very little. He was about to go down the mountain to end the exploration when he suddenly heard a loud bang, which was about 500 meters behind and to his left. Chen Xi's body suddenly tensed up and his expression was stern. He looked around, found a big tree, quickly climbed up the tree, fixed the Gu King beehive on the tree, hit it, quickly climbed down, took out the snakeskin shield, and touched the sound. Direction: I plan to go there and check out the situation. The distance of 500 meters was not far. Even though it was in a mountain forest and blocked by trees, Chen Xiai quickly reached the area. As he got closer, he could already hear the heavy breathing of wild beasts. He bent down and half-crouched to move to a tree with 3 trees. The man hugged behind the thick banyan tree and carefully looked forward. A brown wild boar, more than 2 meters long, covered in fat and with bristles like pine needles, came into view. The wild boar panted heavily and patrolled the open space in front. The center of the patrol was a half-withered elm tree. There was a crack in the elm tree, and I thought the sound just now must have been caused by the wild boar hitting the tree. Chen Xiai looked past the wild boar and scanned the surrounding trees. He found that this wild boar was not the only wild beast nearby. He looked to the tree on the left. He saw a bobcat squatting on the branch of the tree, staring closely at it. Against the elm tree in the middle. From a distance, the bobcat has a thick body, about 1.5 meters in length, slender limbs, a short and thick tail, and a reddish-brown body with dark spots on its body. Looking up at the sky, I saw a black shadow passing by, circling back and forth, but there was a brown goshawk in the sky staring at the ground, preparing to pounce several times. Their targets are the half-dead elm trees in the middle. No, they are not staring at the elm tree, but the red fruits on the elm tree. Chen Xiai observed carefully for a long time and found that there were some small red fruits among the branches of the elm tree. They were not big in size. He skimmed them several times. Passed. It seems to be a good thing, but it's too far away to see what it is. Chen Xiai was very interested in what it was, causing 3 beasts to fight for it, and they also wanted to get a piece of it. Chen Xiai was thinking about how to seize the food from the tiger's mouth. He looked at the position of the 3 beasts and suddenly his eyes moved. He slowly backed away. When he felt that he was out of the beast's range of perception, he suddenly ran backwards. After running more than 50 meters, Chen Xiai turned to the right, made a semicircle, and came to the opposite direction. He slowly moved to hide behind a big tree not far from the half-dead elm tree. Chen Xiai didn't plan to grab it head-on. If there was only one bobcat, he would still have the confidence to give it a try, but forget it with the boar. He had heard before that wild boar and black bear were the same level of predators in the mountains. His small body was not as heavy as wild boar at all. Compared to wild boar, he was just a crispy assassin and an agile one. High crispy assassin. After Xuanqiu's sword skill is perfected, I will probably be able to match it 50-50. Chen Xiai looked forward to it with some uncertainty. Time passed in the confrontation between the parties, until a fruity fragrance suddenly filled the whole place. It turns out that the red fruits are not ripe yet, no wonder they didn't come forward to pick them. As the aroma of fruit filled the air, the atmosphere became serious, and the beasts visible to the naked eye concentrated on staring at the red fruits on the trees. The goshawk stopped circling and landed on the top of the tree closest to the elm tree on the side of Chen Xiai. It stared at the red fruit and was ready to go. Now the 4 directions occupy 4 directions. Chen Xiai is facing the wild boar across the elm tree. There is a bobcat on the tree on the right, and a goshawk on the top of the tree on the left. Everyone in all directions is waiting for the moment when the red fruit matures. Isn't it ripe yet? This fruit is so fragrant. Chen Xiai squatted behind the tree, feeling that his legs were almost numb. He took a deep breath, and a rich fruity aroma assaulted his nostrils. He felt refreshed and all the cells in his body were numb. His eyes were also a little red as he crazily longed for it. As soon as Chen Xiai finished reciting, he saw the boar suddenly speed up and rush towards the elm tree. The bobcat and the goshawk saw this and followed closely behind, flying towards the elm tree. However, their goals were different. The bobcat and the goshawk pounced directly towards the elm tree. Honghua, but the wild boar crashed into the elm tree. The wild boar was the first to start, and it was so fast that it hit an elm tree in the blink of an eye. Click. The elm tree, which already had cracks, was violently collided again, and the trunk suddenly broke. The boar's entire body pressed against the tree, and the weight of several tons pressed down on the elm tree and accelerated its collapse. At this time, the bobcat and the goshawk, who were fighting for the red fruit, had just pounced on the red fruit. The two sides were intertwined with each other. The goshawk suddenly flew up and scratched 3 bloody marks on the bobcat's back with its sharp claws. The bobcat fell down with huge force. Towards the ground, the goshawk took advantage of its strength and pounced on the red fruit again. The sound of 2 sharp arrows piercing the air came, and the 2 arrows were shot straight above the red fruit, which was the only way for the goshawk to pounce on the red fruit. Of course these 2 arrows were shot by Chen Xiai. He had carefully observed before that there were no wild beasts where he was now, and the first time the wild boar hit the elm tree, it hit this direction. He bet that the first time the wild boar hit the tree, not just to scare other beasts, but to prepare for breaking the elm tree for the second time. By repeatedly hitting the crack, the wild boar can control the direction in which the elm tree falls. Chen Xiai had discovered before that the animals in the market world are very cunning and cannot be treated as fools, so he sneaked away from the wild boar and moved here just to don't want it to realize there's someone here. The wild boar can dominate on land, but if you want to get the red fruit, you have to knock down the tree. Otherwise, you can't catch the goshawk. Chen Xiai is betting that the wild boar will knock down the tree, and the tree will fall in this direction. The bet was right. Chen Xiai saw the elm tree falling towards him, and also saw the lynx and the goshawk rushing towards the red fruit. He directly drew his arrow and shot 2 arrows at the top of the red fruit, trying to prevent the goshawk from obtaining the red fruit. After shooting 2 arrows, he quickly put away his wind-chasing bow, took out his snakeskin shield, looked at the direction of the red fruit, and accelerated to run. On the other side, the goshawk did indeed avoid the fast arrows shot by the wind-chasing bow and failed to catch the red fruit, so it had to fly into the sky and turn around. At this time, Chen Xiai had already run under the red fruit. He used a snakeskin shield to protect his head, suddenly kicked the tree trunk next to him, jumped up, and grabbed the red fruit with his right hand. The moment he caught the branch carrying the red fruit, he had 7 points of constitution. Snakeskin shield +1, he exerted force instantly, and with all his strength, he directly broke the tree branch as thick as his arm. Collect, put it in the inventory. Chen Xiai immediately used the collection skill as soon as he got it, and then put it directly in the inventory, without any time to pay attention to the system prompts. Because at this time, there was already a black figure running towards him in front of him. It was a wild boar with its beard cut off. Chen Xiai was in the air, but he could already see the red eyes of the wild boar. Those fierce eyes were dying. Stare at him. Chapter 16 Orange Red Fruit Mistletoe. In mid-air, Chen Xiai held a shield with his left arm, and put his right hand back against the shield. Then he swung the shield down hard and hit the head of the flying boar heavily. There was a muffled sound. Chen Xiai flew out directly and landed in the open space a few meters away. His face twitched and he quickly stood up and ran backwards quickly, constantly changing directions while running. Behind, the angry wild boar suddenly stopped due to a head-on attack. After regaining consciousness, he looked up again and saw that Chen Xiai had begun to run away with his legs wide open. He shook his head and roared angrily. His limbs he used all his strength to chase Chen Xiai like a tank. On the other side, the boar that was knocked to the ground also recovered. When he saw Chen Xiai Jiehu, he also followed closely behind the boar and chased Chen Xiai. However, the 3 deep wounds on his back made it agile. The shape is inevitably somewhat deformed. Similarly, the goshawk in the sky did not give up, but Chen Xiai below chose the direction with thick leaves and did not give it a chance to pounce. After Chen Xiai changed directions several times, the goshawk gave up tracking. After all, it did not dare to fall. Ground. The angry wild boar chased after Chen Xiai. It didn't slow down when it encountered a big tree and hit a straight path. However, it was still made of flesh and blood after all. After hitting the big tree several times, it could no longer maintain a high-speed pursuit. Chen Xiai changed directions several times in a row, and even chose places with lush trees to get in order to hinder the wild boar. After running for about 10 minutes, he heard the rumble of hitting a tree from behind and slowly deviated from the direction. After running for a while, Chen Xiai felt that he had gotten rid of the wild boar, so he slowly stopped and leaned against a big tree, breathing heavily to regain his strength. It was the first time in his life that he ran at a high speed for such a long time, and it was a change of direction in the forest. He had not paid attention to it just now, and now he felt that his lungs were about to explode. Chen Xiai slowly calmed down his breathing, realizing that he was out of danger, and relaxed his mind. Then he felt a heartbreaking pain, coming from his left arm and straight to his mind. His face turned green for a moment. He reached out and pinched his left arm tentatively. There shouldn't be any fractures, but the bones may be cracked. It really hurts. Chen Xiai muttered with bared teeth, but the smile on his face could not be suppressed. This time he successfully snatched food from the mouths of 3 beasts, which made him he felt extremely excited, and he liked this exciting feeling very much. Click. A soft ringing in his ear suddenly interrupted Chen Xi's reverie. His face instantly became solemn. He turned around and saw a figure not far behind him. It was the lynx on the tree just now. The click just now the sound was made by the branches broken under its feet. You can chase me from such a distance. You are worthy of being a jungle hunter. Chen Xiai had a look of surprise in his eyes, but his hand movements were not slow. He quickly took out the Tang Heng Dao with his right hand, and held up the snakeskin shield with his left arm despite the pain. Watching the lynx approaching with vigilance, Chen Xiai saw 3 deep, bone-deep wounds on the lynx's back, and the hair around the wounds was dyed red with blood. No wonder it made a noise. It turns out you were injured too. Only then did Chen Xiai know that the lynx had been injured by the goshawk just now, and the injury was serious. Otherwise, it would not have been able to break the branches and make a sound without its agility. It stands to reason that with such a serious injury, the bobcat should have hid and healed. It was afraid of encountering other predators. It was greed that drove it to pursue Chen Xiai with injuries. Chen Xiai stared at the lynx closely and found that the lynx had no intention of attacking immediately, and couldn't help but feel a little anxious. He didn't want to confront the bobcat here. He was worried that if it took too long, other animals would be attracted. When the bobcat ran away, he wouldn't be able to run away. He was especially worried that the boar would attack him immediately after hearing the sound. And he can't cope with it in his current state. If you don't attack, I can only force you to attack. Chen Xiai calmly thought about the method, and a flash of inspiration flashed in his mind. He suddenly took out the red fruit in the inventory, waved it in front of the lynx, and quickly took it back, but the result, the fragrance, was already floating around Chen Xiai. Seeing this, Shan Mao's eyes turned red. He couldn't hold back any longer and suddenly pounced on Chen Xiai. I'm waiting for you. Chen Xiai shouted, leaning to one side to avoid the attack, using Tang Hengdao in his right hand to use the Xuanqiu sword technique, and the Hengdao slashed at the mountain cat majestically. The sword flashed, and Tang Hengdao struck the wound on Shan Mao's back accurately. The injured Shan Mao let out a scream and roar, and was knocked to the ground by the powerful and heavy knife. After several attempts, he could not get up. Chen Xiai took a step forward and saw the lynx screaming. Its back was covered in blood and flesh, and Senbai's spine had been broken in half. Chen Xi's 7-point physique was not as good as the wild boar, but it was enough to form a strong impact on the lynx. Crush. Without hesitation, he stepped forward and quickly swung his knife to end the bobcat's pain. Chen Xiai was not particularly excited about the victory in this battle. This battle did not consume much of his energy, but it gave him a clearer idea of his own strength. Chen Xiai, with a stern look on his face, waved his hand and used his collecting skills on the lynx. Obtained, damaged hide, white, *1, fang, blue, *2, steak, blue, *3. At the same time, Chen Xiai saw a wooden treasure box appearing next to him, but he did not open it and put it directly into the inventory. He wanted to leave quickly. The movement and the smell of blood might attract other predators. He is injured now. If you are physically weak and have trouble fighting, you can't imitate this lynx. Chen Xiai carefully identified the direction, followed the road that the wild boar had hit before, and returned to the place where he had obtained the red fruit vigilantly. Then he followed the previous marks and found the beehive placed on the tree. He put the Tang Hengdao back into his inventory, picked up the beehive, looked at the direction, stopped searching, and quickly went down the mountain. On the way down the mountain, Chen Xiai encountered some noises and resource points. He suppressed his curiosity and did not check it out. He planned to come back when he was ready later. The trees quickly passed by and he reached the foot of the mountain safely. Don't go anywhere else. Return to the shelter quickly. The injured can't wander around. When Chen Xiai returned to the shelter, it was still some time before dark. He placed the Gu King beehive by the door of the living room. He sat down at the wooden table. Only then did his tense nerves gradually relax, and the pain in his body made him feel uncomfortable. He grinned. After relaxing his body and looking at the injury on his left arm, Chen Xiai thought about it, opened the chat channel, and sent a private message to a person. Chen Xiai 997, is Dr. Song here? I have something to ask you. Yes, he was looking for Song Yerui from the Little Survival Group. This was the only doctor he could think of and contact. After waiting for a while, I didn't see a reply. I guess I was busy and didn't see it. He was not in a hurry. He calmed down and opened the trading channel first, checked the sales volume of small bucklers, and suddenly a bunch of messages flooded the screen. Lost small buckler *1, gained wood *20. Lost small buckler *1, gained iron *4. All the small bucklers on the shelves have been sold, and 2,000 units of wood and 400 units of iron have been obtained. There are also many private messages asking for purchases, but the content is all kinds of strange. Brother, I have a set of original underwear. Let me change it to a small buckler. Boss, I only have 2 units of iron. You can give it to me on credit first. I'll return it to you as soon as I have it. Hello, I am the leader of the Alliance. Our Alliance currently has nearly 20,000 survivors. Now we sincerely invite you to join our Alliance. Based on your ability, you can be given the position of a 1,000-man leader. I hope you will be seriously considered. Brother, the buckler you sell is too expensive. The material is similar to an iron knife with a wooden handle. It is too dark. The production of a wooden-handled iron knife requires 1 unit of wood and 2 units of iron blocks. Currently, 1 unit of iron block on the market can be exchanged for 5 units of wood. The equivalent cost of a wooden-handled iron knife is 11 units of wood, and the current selling price is basically 15 units of wood. The small buckler requires 1 unit of wood and 1 unit of iron, and the cost is 6 units of wood. Chen Si's price is 20 units of wood, and the profit is more than double. However, Chen Si ignored those private messages saying they were expensive. There were many people selling iron knives with wooden handles, but few sold shields. Scarce things made them more expensive. Most of the people selling shields priced them at this price, and he also followed the market price. After counting the harvest, Chen Si closed the trading channel and took out the red fruits he had taken in the previous adventure from the inventory. It's time for the lottery draw. Chen Si was looking forward to it at this time. He didn't take it out to check it immediately because he was too nervous before and needed to calm down. He was afraid that he would be too excited and his heart wouldn't be able to bear it. A curtain of light emerged. Orange-red mistletoe. Level 0. Quality, rare. Attributes, slightly improve physical fitness, slightly increase mental potential. Introduction, the precious zebracyte can strengthen muscles and bones, protect the liver and kidneys, and is of great benefit to the body and mind. The upper limit of consumption is 10 pills of the same grade. Super fruit. Chen Si's face turned red and he finally couldn't hold back his excitement and shouted. Chapter 17 Water of Life. Although the orange-red mistletoe is not as good as the super fruit he obtained before, which can directly increase his attributes by 1 point, it is a large amount, and Chen Si obtained 16 of them. He carefully put the red fruit into his inventory. Only when he put it in his inventory did he feel relieved. He couldn't eat it now. According to his last experience, taking it when practicing Xuanqiu sword technique can be quickly absorbed and improve his proficiency in sword techniques. Chen Si took out his last harvest, the wooden treasure chest he got after killing the lynx. Open the treasure chest. Obtained, braised beef noodles, regular, *24, poncho *1, cumin *1. The braised beef noodles are a whole box of instant noodles from the Red Elephant brand. Chen Si feels that this is the highest value among the items on offer. It is a very high-quality food. It is much better than the previous dry food and bread. Instant noodles are high-calorie foods and are edible. Simple, tastes very good, and is very suitable for wilderness survivors. Moreover, the accompanying seasoning packet contains salt, powdered sugar, MSG, star anise powder, etc. These are also a fortune. In a world without industrialization, spices are more expensive than gold. In fact, Chen Si hasn't eaten salt for several days. He originally planned to go to the trading channel to buy some at night, but the conditions were not good a few days ago, so he had to make do with it. The poncho and cumin are just average. This poncho may not be able to prevent the coming acid rain, and cumin is not much use. Put it away first, put the poncho in the warehouse, and put the cumin in the kitchen for barbecue later. As soon as Chen Si came out of the kitchen, a private message notification came from the system. When he opened it, he saw that it was Song Yerui who had replied to the message. Song Yerui 5, here, I just returned to the shelter. Is there anything wrong with Chen Si? In a wooden house, a beautiful woman with a ponytail was tidying up and replying to messages. She had a temperament similar to Gao Yuanyuan. Her upper body was covered with rattan armor. Through the cracks in the rattan armor, a white shirt with many stains could be seen. Her lower body was wearing a black stripe. Slim-fitting suit trousers make your legs straight and slender. Song Yerui, who had just returned from the wild, had a puzzled expression on her face. She had never contacted Chen Si alone before, so she didn't know what Chen Si wanted to do with her. Chen Si 997, I went out to search for supplies in the afternoon and accidentally injured my arm. Wang Zixuan said that you are a doctor and I want to ask for your help. Seeing Chen Si's answer, Song Yerui replied without thinking, no problem, take a photo of the injured area and send it to me. I'll take a look first. Chen Si 997, I was holding a shield and was hit by a wild boar. My arm was red and swollen. Arm JPG. Song Yerui looked carefully at the pictures sent by Chen Xiai, filled with surprise. She was surprised that Chen Xiai could escape unharmed after provoking the wild boar. Song Yerui ate, looking at the pictures, it shouldn't be a big problem. You can gently press around the swelling and tell me how it feels. Chen Xiai followed Song Yerui's instructions, gently pressed his arm and described the feeling to her. Song Yerui ate, Chen Xiai, you shouldn't have any fractures, but you may have a fracture. We can't take pictures of the specifics right now, so we can't confirm it further. Chen Xiai felt a little relieved when he saw Song Yerui's reply. He had felt that there was no fracture before, and he was also a little relieved when he saw the professional's confirmed answer. Song Yerui said again, Chen Xiai, you can't be careless about the fracture. Try not to lift heavy objects with your left hand recently, and try not to fight. If you are injured a second time, the injury will be aggravated. Chen Xiai had just let go, but he lifted it up again after seeing Song Yerui's efforts. He could not lift heavy objects with his left hand and could not fight. This would undoubtedly make it more difficult for Chen Xiai to survive and may cause him to lose his current ability. Take the lead, slowly fall behind or even be eliminated. Thinking of this, Chen Xi's face became as gloomy as the clouds before a rainstorm. Damn it, I didn't expect the bone fracture to be so serious. It seems that I can only go to the trading channel to buy some medicines at a high price. Although he was thinking this way, Chen Xiai also knew that there were probably no medicines left in the trading channel at this moment. After all, many people were injured in the early morning test, and the medicines had long been sold out. Even if there is some leftover, the asking price is probably beyond the endurance limit of the survivors. On the other side, Song Yerui sat elegantly at the wooden table, her hips showed a graceful arc, her delicate face showed a bit of hesitation, her charming eyes looked at her hands blankly, and there was a small transparent medicine bottle in her slender hands. The red liquid in the medicine bottle ripples gently. Do you want to give it to him? I only have this bottle, and I have to wait for the flower of life to bloom again before I can make a new one. Song Yerui bit her red lip subconsciously, thought for a long time, and finally made up her mind, give it to him, we know each other after all. It's okay if a person doesn't know, but if he knows, he can't be eliminated. Although Song Yerui is used to seeing life and death in the hospital, she still feels very uncomfortable every time she encounters critically ill patients and always wants to help them as much as possible, even a little bit. Because of her kindness, her colleagues and patients in the hospital particularly liked her. On the last day, she still stayed in the hospital and took care of the patients in the bed. Chen Xiai was frowning and thinking of a way. The injury to his left arm would affect his survival even more than missing one hand. Ding! Received a transaction request. Chen Xiai came back to his senses, frowned and looked at the transaction application. Suddenly his eyes widened and his face was full of disbelief. Water of life. Level 0. Quality, rare. Attributes, instantly heals minor injuries, increases serious injury recovery speed by 60%. Introduction, you read that right, this is a small red bottle. It is a rare artificial creation with precious raw materials and complex craftsmanship. Injury medicine. Instant recovery medicine. Chen Xiai had many items in his hand, but this was the first time he had seen this life-saving artifact. With this bottle of water of life, it was equivalent to having an extra life. Song Yerui ate, take this bottle of water of life. Heal the injury first, and then return it to me if you have something later. Just apply it on your arm. Seeing this, to be honest, Chen Xiai was really moved at that moment. Since his parents passed away, this was the first time someone helped him without expecting anything in return and gave him such a precious thing. Thank you. Chen Xiai did not refuse. He needed this water of life now, and he would keep other people's good deeds in his heart. But he didn't accept it directly. Others didn't want to repay it, but he had to repay it. After all, it saved half his life. After making his decision, he sent a new transaction application to Yerui Song. Items for sale, orange red mistletoe *6, items for exchange, water of life *1. Each person can only eat 10 red fruits, and he originally planned to trade the remaining 6 for some good things. When Song Yerui saw the new transaction application, she didn't even look at what the orange-red mistletoe was, so she just clicked agree. After completing the transaction, she looked at the red fruit in her hand to check its attributes. After reading the attributes, she opened her mouth in surprise. These 6 fruits were definitely no less precious than the water of life, even to most survivors. The value will be higher. And with these 6 fruits, the blueprint she had refrigerated before could also be used. Song Yerui 8, the orange-red fruit is very precious, and its value is higher than the water of life. I took advantage of it. I have a lot of potion blueprints here. If you want to have medicinal materials or plant seeds later, you can give them to me and we will share them equally. Chen Ci 997, of course, the potion drawings are also made on the tool table. Song Yerui 8, no, I have a special building chain gold platform. I heard that there are also alchemy furnaces and talisman seal rooms. Chen Ci really didn't know that there were these special buildings before, and he never saw the elixirs and talismans on the trading channel. He didn't know whether it was because the output was low and they were digested privately, or because no one learned it. Judging from Song Yerui's situation, it should be the former. Chen Ci thought that he had obtained an apple tree seed before but had never used it, so he directly traded it to Song Yerui. The two chatted for a while and exchanged some information with each other before closing the chat box. Chen Ci wanted to treat his injury quickly. His arm hurt so much that his head hurt. Chapter 18 Fence and Arrow Tower. After closing the chat box, Chen Ci immediately picked up the water of life and applied it evenly and carefully on his left arm. The medicine seeped into the skin, and a sore itching sensation came from his left arm. At that moment, Chen Ci wanted to cut off his arm due to the itchiness. Then came a burst of warmth, which penetrated the skin and reached the bones. After a while, it was itchy and warm. The pain and itchiness just now disappeared, just like the pain and itching were all hallucinations. Chen Ci clenched his fist experimentally, but it didn't hurt at all. Then he placed his right hand on the injured spot and pressed it hard. It doesn't hurt at all. It's really healed. Chen Ci carefully confirmed that his left arm was completely healed, and he couldn't help but smile. Today was a near miss. You have to be careful in the future. You can't overestimate yourself and you have to stock up on some wound medicine. Thinking of wound medicine, Chen Ci thought of the water of life. Unfortunately, Song Yerui's flower of life, it will take half a month to open, and there are not enough materials to make the water of life at all. His arm has healed, and Chen Ci no longer thinks about it. He still has a lot of things to do. He stood up and pushed open the door of the shelter. Chen Ci came to the open space in front of the door and walked around the shelter first. The shelter was now about 50 meters long and 40 meters wide. He planned to make a fence to surround the entire shelter. There should be 20 meters of space between the fence and the shelter for the yard. It will be more convenient to plant things in the future. Leave more space on the north, about 45 meters, and build the fence directly to the bottom of the mountain wall. Chen Ci waited for a long time and decided. In this plan, he needs to consider reserving space for later upgrading the shelter and reclaiming space for farming. After determining the scope of the fence, Chen Ci returned to the shelter, walked to the center of the living room, concentrated his mind, and called for the core of the shelter. The drawings of shelter facilities must be used at the core of the shelter. Following Chen Ci's call, the core of the shelter slowly rose to Chen Ci's chest. Chen Ci took out the fence drawing, placed it on top of the core of the shelter, and concentrated on confirming its use. The fence drawing turned into white light and sank into the core of the shelter in an instant, and then a virtual image appeared in front of Chen Ci. It was a three-dimensional top view of Chen Ci's shelter, and the surrounding scene clearly came into view. Please select the fence construction range. Chen Ci looked at the virtual image in front of him, and used his mind control to confirm the construction scope according to the previously determined plan. As Chen Ci confirmed, the system prompted. Please confirm the height and thickness of the fence. According to the prompts, Chen Ci immediately knew that the normal height of the fence was 1 meter and the thickness was 1 layer, but additional wood could be provided to increase the height to 2 meters and the thickness to 2 layers. height and thickness are all increased. The selected installation area requires a total consumption of wood *1200. Are you sure to confirm the construction? Confirm construction. After Chen Ci was confirmed, the wood in the warehouse disappeared by 1,200 units, and then white lights lit up in 3 directions of the shelter at the same time. A long fence gradually formed from bottom to top. After about 10 minutes, the white light dissipated. When Chen Ci walked out of the shelter, he saw that his shelter was completely surrounded by a 2-meter-high fence. The fence was dark brown. When he took a closer look, he found that the fence was 20 centimeters thick, and there were 10 centimeters of space between the wooden boards. You could see through the gaps to the situation outside. This is simply a wooden wall. It gives me a sense of security. It's just that the gate is too laborious. Chen Ci looked at the fence gate in front of him and scratched his head. The 2-meter-high gate was very secure, but its lock was similar to that of ancient times. Like the city gate, it was a 20-centimeter thick wooden board that needed to be pushed up to open. After he closed the door, he had to climb over the wall to get out, and when he came back, he had to climb over the wall to get in. Flaws don't cover up the goodness, flaws don't cover up the goodness. Chen Ci comforted himself. It is worth mentioning that the drawings of building facilities are all one-time drawings. Either one person can learn and build manually, or the system can build them directly and the drawings disappear. If you want to build again, you need to provide new drawings. After admiring the fence, Chen Ci returned to the sanctuary and summoned the core of the sanctuary again. He also placed the arrow tower drawings obtained previously on the core to confirm its construction. Please confirm the construction location of the arrow tower. The same virtual 3-dimensional top view appeared in front of him. According to his previous design plan, he placed the arrow tower in the southwest direction of the shelter, to the right of the fence gate. After the location is confirmed, the system also sends a prompt. The construction of the arrow tower requires wood *100, stone *100, and iron block *1. Confirm construction. The construction was very fast this time. After the white light appeared, the arrow tower was like pressing the time accelerator button, starting from scratch, from bottom to top, and gradually taking shape. The construction of the arrow tower is completed. Chen Ci came to the arrow tower. The base of the arrow tower is a square stone base covering an area of 3 meters by 3 meters. The tower body is made of wood and is about 3 meters high. Climb up the stairs. There is also a platform on top that can be viewed outwards. For shooting, there is also an automatic shooting port on the top of the arrow tower. After filling with wood, the arrow tower will automatically shoot enemies within 200 meters. Call up the arrow tower properties. Arrow tower. Level 0. Quality, ordinary. Introduction, automatic defense building. After filling with wood, each unit of wood is automatically converted into one wooden arrow. When the enemy enters the 200-meter range of the arrow tower automatically fires wooden arrows at a speed of 30 seconds each time. There are no enemies to test its power right now, but this is a gold-swallowing beast. One unit of wood can only fire one arrow. Even so, Chen Ci still took out 65 units of wood and put it into the arrow tower. Now there are only 700 units of wood left, and 150 units of stone, returning to the middle class. With these 2 defensive buildings, I can sleep peacefully. Let's celebrate today and have barbecue. After inspecting the fence and arrow tower, Chen Ci happily returned to the shelter, opened the trading channel, and planned to buy some tools. Treat yourself to a roast. Make the charcoal yourself. I have meat and a bottle of cumin. I still lack salt and a barbecue grill. Chen Ci thought about the tools needed for barbecue, asked the tool table to produce a unit of charcoal, then opened the trading channel and found the salt and barbecue grill. The items were found quickly, but salt was relatively expensive. A small bottle of salt required 4 units of iron to trade, which was equivalent to a small buckler or 20 pieces of wood. It's so luxurious, I can't even afford the salt. Chen Ci casually spent 4 units of iron to take a picture, which would make his life better if possible, and besides, his body wouldn't be able to bear it without eating salt. Compared with table salt, the barbecue grill is much cheaper. The stainless steel grill only costs 2 units of iron blocks. And according to the comments, it has been on the shelves for 2 days and no one is trading at all. It is estimated that most people will not need this in a short time, so take advantage of the cheap price. Take the photo directly. After everything was ready, Chen left the kitchen and took out the leopard steak from the early morning, set up the barbecue, put the newly made charcoal on it, lit it with a flint, and then put the steak on it. After a while, the steak made a sizzling sound of oil. While he was staring at the barbecue, the system prompted another message. Chen Xiai has set up Do Not Disturb, and usually the system will prompt him only for his friends. So he opened the chat box directly and saw a message from Lu Xiaoya. Chapter 19 Zhuge Liannu. Lu Xiaoya 11, Brother Chen, I went out to pick 50 units of cotton this afternoon, and I will send it to you. In the wooden house, the mud all over Lu Xiaoya's pink sportswear turned gray. When she was collecting cotton this afternoon, she was attacked by a jackal. Fortunately, she never let down her guard. When she noticed the danger, she rolled on the spot and stayed away from the jackal. The dog bites her, and she shoots the jackal to death from a long distance with the wooden-handled iron spear that Chen Xiai traded for her. Chen Xiai was also a little surprised when he saw the news about Lu Xiaoya. He had been out today and knew how dangerous it was outside. He didn't expect Lu Xiaoya to be so brave and have the courage to go out. Although he was surprised, Chen Xiai quickly replied, "Okay, do you want wood, stone, or iron?" Now many people have developed torch blueprints, and a torch currently sells for 4 units of wood on the market. The value of 1 unit of cotton is basically equivalent to 1 unit of wood. Lu Xiaoya felt very happy when she saw that Chen Xiai was willing to settle with iron blocks. Although 1 iron block was equal to 5 pieces of wood, in most cases, a premium would be required to exchange the goods in reverse. "Brother Chen, give me as much iron as you can. I'm still short of iron for upgrading." She had gradually recognized Chen Xiai as her friend in her heart, so she was not so polite and directly stated her needs. Chen Xiai saw Lu Xiaoya's straightforward reply and felt it was normal. He knew that Lu Xiaoya had a straightforward temper and he liked to be friends with such people. Items for sale, iron *10, barbecue *1, exchange items, cotton *50. Chen Xiai 997, you're in for a treat. I happen to be barbecuing and I'll give you one. You're welcome. We are partners. Lu Xiaoya stared at the dialogue box in front of her, her eyes a little red. Even ordinary people would probably be very touched when they encountered such thoughtful care, not to mention that Lu Xiaoya had lacked the care of others since she was a child. This kind of inadvertent behavior touched her even more. Mind. Okay. Lu Xiaoya was silent for a while, agreed to Chen Xi's transaction application, and took out the hot barbecue. Her hands were hot, and her heart was also hot. She saw a blush staining her cheeks, and her cheeks were red. Very gorgeous. After the transaction was completed, the two did not end the chat, but started chatting, but most of them were asked by Chen Xiai. Lu Xiaoya said that Chen Xiai also knew that Lu Xiaoya had not been liked by her parents who favored boys over girls since she was a child. She often scolded her and asked about her tuition after high school. They all earned it by doing odd jobs, which was very hard work. When talking about the shelter, Chen Xiai learned about the situation around Lu Xiaoya's shelter. It was located in a grassland, with grass half as tall as a person everywhere. She had only cleaned up the plants around the shelter in the past few days, and was currently unable to go deep into the grass. Lu Xiaoya knew that Chen Xiai was surrounded by dangers today. Although Chen Xiai told the story from the perspective of an adventurer who had successfully cut off the enemy, it did not prevent Lu Xiaoya from understanding the dangers involved. Lu Xiaoya was silent for a moment and sent a transaction application to Chen Xiai. Item for sale, Zhuge Liannu, blue, *1, item for exchange, wood *1. Lu Xiaoya 11, Brother Chen, keep this crossbow. There are many forests over there, which are more dangerous than mine. I just have an iron spear with a wooden handle. Chen Xiai looked at the transaction application he had just received. He was a little confused. What happened today? Why do so many people care about him? He has lived in Blue Star for 24 years. Except for his parents, he has never met anyone who cares about him so much. Today met two in one day. Chen Xiai looked at the panel, a little understanding, but also a little confused. He felt that he might have touched Lu Xiaoya's heart, but he didn't know why. It was just a normal transaction before. However, he thought about it carefully, and with a sudden thought, he went to the tool table and used 5 units of wood and 5 units of iron to produce 20 Mitsubishi arrows. The level 2 tool table can produce ordinary arrows after scanning the crossbow. He returned to the barbecue grill and returned the transaction application. On the other side, seeing that the transaction application was not approved for a long time, Lu Xiaoya couldn't help but feel a little uneasy, wondering if she had done something wrong. Suddenly seeing that the transaction application was returned, she became anxious and directly sent a message, "Brother Chen, I'm serious, you are more dangerous than me, and you need this repeating crossbow more. I am safe here." Chen Xiai 997, "Don't worry, I know that this place is not safe anywhere. I have changed the transaction application again. Just agree to it." Items for sale: Chasing Wind Bow, blue, *1, arrows *20, trading items, Zhuge Liannu, blue, *1. When Lu Xiaoya saw the transaction application, she didn't know how to respond, but she felt that Chen Xiai must have considered it, so she agreed to the transaction. Harvest Wind Chasing Bow *1, arrows *20. Chasing the Wind Bow. Level 1. Quality, boutique. Attribute, arrow initial speed increased by 30%. Introduction, compound bow. The bow is 1 meter long and has a range of 300 meters. The bow is bright and can chase the wind. After reading the attributes, she hurriedly asked, "Brother Chen, why did you exchange my level 1 bow for my level 0 crossbow? You should keep it for use." Chen Xiai played with the crossbow in his hand and replied with a smile, "I don't know how to use a bow. I tried it today and couldn't shoot. It should be better if I use a crossbow. You have long-range abilities, so you just use this bow. That's it." Seeing what Chen Xiai said, Lu Xiaoya declined several times, but Chen Xiai rejected them all, and finally had to accept it. She was in a good mood, not happy that level 0 had been changed to level 1, but happy that she had helped Chen Xiai, and Chen Xiai had also helped her. This was two kinds of care. The two chatted for a while. After Chen Xiai told Lu Xiaoya about the level 2 shelter experience, Lu Xiaoya needed to upgrade the shelter, so they both hung up the chat box. Chen Xiai was eating barbecue. This was his second piece, and his appetite had increased a lot, while he was checking Zhuge Liannu's attributes. Zhuge Liannu. Level 0. Quality, boutique. Attributes, magazine capacity increased to 15. Introduction, the individual soldier version has been improved by many people. The crossbow is light and powerful, with a range of 20 meters and a maximum power range of 10 meters. The magazine capacity is greatly increased, and the current magazine capacity is 15 rounds. The Zhuge Liannu can make up for my mid-range attack power. It is easy to operate and can fire continuously. It would be great if I could install a scope. Chen Xiai sighed with a hint of regret. He currently doesn't have such skills, and he doesn't know anyone who can modify it. Satisfied, he put away the repeating crossbow and made another 30 crossbow arrows, which cost 3 units of wood and 3 units of iron. 15 pieces are put into the magazine and 15 pieces are put into the inventory. After finishing his work, Chen Xiai finished eating the steak with peace of mind and made another deal to Song Yerui, who accepted it politely. After packing up the barbecue grill and cleaning, Chen resigned from the tool table and assigned 2 manufacturing tasks. The level 2 tool table can perform 2 production operations at the same time. Produce 50 torches and 300 small bucklers. After setting up the automatic production, he took a look and saw that the torches would be finished in a moment, while the bucklers were not expected to be finished until early in the morning. After the arrangements were made, Chen Xiai went to the bathroom and took a cold shower with the remaining water in the barrel. I forgot to fill up the water tank on the roof today. Remember to fetch water tomorrow. Chen Xiai was thinking while cleaning. The man took a shower quickly. As soon as he got out of the bathroom, he felt a cold wind blowing. He shivered all over and hurried back to the bedroom and got into bed. Opening the chat channel, he wanted to see what other survivors were having fun and relax after a busy day. Chapter 20 Drawings delivered to your door. Have you guys gone out today? There is a little cutie at my door who has been guarding me all day. I can't go out to find food and I'm starving to death. Why don't you eat meat when you're about to starve to death? There's meat out there. I eat bread when I don't have meat. You can eat bread when you are hungry. Don't be hungry. It's probably guarding you because it's hungry. Why don't you contribute? Yes, you both won't be hungry anymore after your contribution. Chen Xiai also laughed out loud when he saw this. It seemed that the survivors had gradually adapted to the environment here and were in the mood to play tricks. I went out today. There are a lot of wild animals out there, and treasure chests may drop after hunting. Brother upstairs, are you telling the truth? Do all animals have treasure chests? Really, I dug out a nest of rabbits today and gave them a wooden treasure chest. The Ruins world encourages going out. There are rewards for gathering and hunting, but you must bring weapons when going out. There are many level 2 bosses on the trading channel selling iron knives and iron spears, which are very cost-effective. Chen Xiai nodded in approval. Su World currently feels like a company to him. If you work hard as required, you won't be eliminated. If you do well, your quality of life will be high. If you don't follow its reminders, you will eventually be eliminated. Just when Chen Xiai was concentrating on studying the mental state of the survivors in the chat channel, the system reminded him that the purchase request he had posted before had a transaction private message reply. Chen Xiai immediately became interested. What he had previously purchased were glass, blueprints, high-quality items, etc. No matter what they were all what he needed. Wang Lei 96, hello, boss, we are from the same area. I saw your purchase information. I received a drawing today and want to exchange some supplies with you. Chen Xiai looked at the information in front of him. He had an impression of Wang Lei. His profile picture was that of a gentleman with gold-rimmed glasses. He should be less than 30 years old. Chen Xiai remembered that he was a very active person on the regional channel on the first day. Later, the regional channel didn't care much and never saw Wang Lei speak again. Chen Xiai 997, I know you, what kind of blueprint is it, and what are you planning to trade? Wang Lei 96, here's what the boss said. I was deceived by the recruitment information of the Blood Evil Alliance before. After entering, the materials must be handed over uniformly. We are also given tasks every day. If we cannot complete them, we will not be given food. During the previous protection period, we can collect resources. Mission accomplished, there are too many wild beasts outside now, there is no way to collect supplies. He paused and then sent, I ventured out today and found a treasure chest and opened a blueprint. I don't plan to give it to the Blood Evil Alliance. I want to trade some items to get away from them, but other people in the regional channel are afraid of the Blood Evil Alliance. No. Dare you trade with me? I've seen you fight against the Blood Evil Alliance in the group, and I know you're not afraid of it, so I want to exchange some food and weapons with you. After speaking, he sent the brief introduction to the drawings to Chen Xiai. Wooden deck chair drawings, normal, lifestyle drawings, which can greatly improve the quality of life and are suitable for sunny grasslands, wild camping, and leisure and relaxation. Production material, wood *2. When Chen Xiai saw the introduction to the blueprint, he felt that this blueprint was much more useless than the charcoal blueprint. How many people wanted to buy a recliner to relax at this time? I guess other survivors were not only afraid of the Blood Evil Alliance. The main reason should be that the blueprint was useless. Use. Chen Xiai could imagine Wang Lei's excitement when he opened the treasure box and saw the blueprints, and then his despair when he saw the contents of the blueprints. This is an unlucky boy. Recently, a batch of useless products appeared on the market. He had seen someone selling rickshaw drawings before, but no one bought them for a long time. This recliner is at least more useful than a rickshaw. It mainly depends on what supplies he wants to exchange for. Chen Xiai pondered for a while, and without beating around the bush, he asked Wang Lei directly, "What specific items do you want to trade?" Wang Lei waited uneasily for a while. He was afraid that Chen Xiai would reject him directly and there would be no reason to approach him later. He also spent a lot of money to apply for this useless drawing. Wang Lei 96, "Boss, just give me a day's worth of food. I want a small buckler and a spear as items. I have to go out and fight tomorrow." Seeing that Chen Xiai was planning to trade, he used the honorific title. Chen Xiai thought for a while and replied, 5 pieces of dry food, a small buckler, and a wooden iron spear, do you think we can trade it? Wang Lei 96, "Yes, boss. I have to tell you something in advance. I quit the Blood Evil Alliance today. They said they would ban me. If you trade with me, they may be dissatisfied." Chen Xiai didn't know how the Blood Fiend Alliance could ban a survivor who was thousands of miles away, but he didn't care that the Blood Fiend Alliance would be dissatisfied, because the Blood Fiend Alliance had long been dissatisfied with him. Chen Xiai 997, "You don't have to worry about that. I'm just making a deal with you. Whether the Blood Fiend Alliance is satisfied or not has nothing to do with me." Wang Lei 96, "Thank you, boss. I will send the transaction application right now. Items for sale, recliner blueprint, ordinary, trading items, dry food *5, small buckler *1, iron spear with wooden handle *1. Chen Xiai 997, "Okay, wait a moment, I'll prepare the iron spear." After replying, Chen Xiai got out of bed, came to the workshop, put away the 50 completed torches, and then produced an iron spear with a wooden handle. After preparing the items to be traded, he agreed to the transaction with Wang Lei. Obtain recliner blueprint, normal. Wang Lei 96, "Thank you, boss. I'll add you as a friend. If I have good things, I'll trade them to you. I can also help you collect information about the Blood Evil Alliance. I can ask you for advice on anything later." Chen Xiai did not refuse. Although he didn't care about the Blood Evil Alliance, the relationship was very tense after all. He would not refuse if someone offered to help collect information. What if it would be used someday? After agreeing, Wang Lei humbly asked for some experience in surviving in the wild. It must be said that Wang Lei has very good eloquence and emotional intelligence, and is very capable of answering conversations during the chat. After realizing that Chen Xiai didn't want to talk anymore, he immediately ended the chat on his own initiative. It's hard to hate. After hanging up the chat, Chen Xiai found Wang Zixuan. Chen Xiai 997, "What is the situation of the Blood Evil Alliance now? I haven't watched the regional channel recently." He just wanted to understand the operating mode of the Blood Fiend Alliance. Only Wang Zixuan and Lu Yang in this small group were well informed about this kind of information. Wang Zixuan 38, "Brother Chen, I don't know much about the specifics. I only know that the Blood Evil Alliance is now recommended by internal members to join the alliance. After joining the alliance, materials must be handed over and distributed uniformly, and then new survivors who join the alliance will be given a self-defense item. If the daily tasks within the alliance are not completed, the self-defense items will be taken back." Chen Xiai 997, "What are self-defense items, weapons?" Wang Zixuan 38, "I don't know what the specific self-defense items are. Those who join the alliance have signed a fair contract in the world of ruins, so the information cannot be leaked, but it should not be weapons. The appeal of weapons is not that great." Chen Xiai 997, "Is there anyone who has withdrawn from the alliance?" Wang Zixuan 38, "Very few, because all the materials have been handed over. If you withdraw from the alliance, you will not be able to survive, and you will not be able to disclose information within the alliance after withdrawing from the alliance." Chen Xi's heart skipped a beat when he saw this. He felt that there was something he had overlooked, but he couldn't remember what was wrong. Lu Yang too, "The Blood Evil Alliance is very mysterious. Many survivors who are short of supplies have already joined in the regional channel. Xiaohuo 1, this is an evil organization. I knew Zhang Biao before. He is a bad and pus-seeking kind of person. If those people don't listen to me, they will suffer sooner or later. Xiaohuo was very excited. These people don't believe him, but believe that scum. Lu Igua 8, Xiaohua, calm down. You just can't control your temper. When the regional channel teases you, you'll get angry. When Chen Xiai heard this, Xiaohua was still struggling with the Blood Evil Alliance in the regional channel, fighting and losing again and again. After chatting with a few people in a small group for a while, he didn't get any more inside information about the Blood Evil Alliance, so Chen Xiai quit the chat. He put all 50 torches on the shelves at the price of 3 units of wood each. After returning to the bedroom, he planned to draw a card before going to bed. Synthesis requires mental energy, and it would be restored the next day if used before going to bed. You are listening to it in Eugene Light Novels.